4-game series. It is our first opportunity to visit with the 19-year-old Colonel right-hander who upped his record to a sensational 5-0 record last night, Nick Adenhart. And Nick, you're only 19 years old, and here you are having come out of the gate 5-0. I know you were with the big leaguers this spring in Arizona. Did you have any idea that you would have this fine a start, having not pitched that much last year in your first year of professional baseball? Did you have any idea you'd meet with this kind of success this early?
That was my goal. Those are my goals going into the season to, just throw strikes, get outs, and everything's been falling in order. I'm eating goals, and it's been going great.
It has, and you mentioned throwing strikes and getting outs and throwing strikes. Even though you struck out 9 batters in 7 innings last night, you don't strike me as the kind of guy that's going to go out and try to get all your outs via strikeouts.
Early in the count, I just let my fastball work with its movement, and then usually once I can get 2 strikes on somebody, I can put them away with my off-speed, curveballs and changeups, and it seems to be, putting guys away pretty easily.
Nick, as far as last night's start in particular went, the club gave you and them a big lift in the very first inning when Paul Janish, the league's leading hitter, was at second base and 2 out. B.J. Szymanski, their cleanup batter, was given the green light on a 3-0 pitch. What goes through your mind as a pitcher, knowing that some managers do turn their cleanup men loose to hit on 3-0 and others want them to take a strike? Do you have to adjust your thinking at all when the count does go 3-0?
The night before, when Tommy went 3-0 on Szymanski, he took a cut, fouled a pitch off, so I was expecting him to be swinging, especially, trying to get, it was probably be the best pitch he saw. So, I'd still throw a 2-seam, throw a sinker, and still try to locate it. I knew I had first base open, and with 2 outs, I could have probably afforded a walk. Didn't want to, but, just made sure it was a well-located pitch, and he, didn't quite get all of it.
Yeah, I noticed that. At first I thought he hit it real well, but then I think he hit it either off his trademark or his fist, but it was still headed into left center field where when Heinle Stacia showed some acrobatic athleticism.
Definitely, I talked to Stacia afterwards. I thought the ball was going to get into the gap at first off the bat, too, and then it started dying. He said it had some crazy spin on it. It was really diving at him, but he hung with it, made a good play.
Heinle leapt high in the air and took a base hit away from B.J. Szymanski, and the Kernels were off and running. You mentioned, Nick, that you noticed the night before when Tommy Mendoza was pitching that Szymanski swung on 3-0, and that brings up a point. When you're pitching later in a series and you get to see the opposition before your start, even at this level, you can pick up a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And at this level, a lot of guys, they have a lot of tendencies that are a lot more vulnerable or consistent. They're younger, and you can pick up on things. And it's harder for us to pick up on things. We're new to the game, just like they are. But once you do pick up on something, it's usually consistent, and you can exploit it.
How did you deal with the fellow that hit 2 home runs the night before, Jay Bruce? You seem to have him off stride and struck him out 3 times. Did you see any tendencies in his swing or know that he was the same age as you, 19 years old? How do you get a slugging left-handed batter out like that 3 times on strikes?
He was really on the fastball and looked really comfortable in the box. And manager Bobby and the pitching coach Kernels were talking about moving feet, which is something we don't do too much at this level, but I was really concentrated on it last night, pitching inside, making sure the batter isn't quite as comfortable and he's not on stride and his timing isn't quite as good, and it opened up the outside part of the plate, and he's still struggling on some off-speed pitches, so I was able to put him away on those.
Moving feet, meaning that you pitch inside far enough not to harm or hurt a guy, but to make sure that he doesn't own all that plate.
Right, keep it below the waist, just to get him off stride, move his head and his feet, and just so he's not, just planting and stepping in the same spot and real comfortable in there, and move his feet and his timing.
Nick Adenhart is with us on the heels of his brilliant 7-inning shutout and 4-hit, 9-strikeout performance, helping spearhead the Kernels to a 9-0 win. And, Nick, I wanted to shift gears just a little bit and have you reflect on your time with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and big league camp. I was lucky enough to see you pitch on television in an exhibition game against the White Sox. And Tommy Mendoza and Brett Martinez have both told us a few stories about big league camp and the awesome regard they have for the Angels. Did anyone take you under their wing at big league camp as far as a big leaguer?
Not necessarily as a player. I had a pretty good relationship with all the guys. You know, they're great. They understand the position you're in. You're young. It's your first year, and they've all been there. And so they're very courteous. But you know, Bud Black was great. The pitching coach. He really took me and Tommy under his wing and showed us what we needed to do and where we needed to be. You know, to be big leaguers.
When you're invited to big league camp, is that something that is an honor or a distinction, or is it something that your agent negotiates into your contract and you know it's coming?
I think some guys that are more high profile when they're drafted do get that put into their contract. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I know that us three were all just invited by the organization. It was quite an honor to know that we're in that high regards with the front office, and that they just want to see us there and see us do well, and show us where they want us to be in a few years.
After a ball game in spring training in the Cactus League, Nick, is there the spread we all hear about in the big leagues during the season, some really good healthy food, or is it every man going out for dinner after the game with teammates?
There is a spread. It's there. It's good. It's it's whatever you want, whatever you need. A lot of those guys have the bankroll to pretty much eat wherever they want, but us younger guys are taking advantage of that great spread.
We're going to take a break from Dayton's Fifth Third Field. We're talking with last night's winning pitcher, 19-year-old right-hander Nick Gaydenhart. His record now 5-0, and we'll have a final word with him after this on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners. We make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications. Kerner Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Nick Gaydenhart, last night's Kernel winning pitcher who posted his 5th win of the season, is with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And Nick, I thought it'd be fun for our listeners to wrap things up here from Dayton to hear a little bit about your love for basketball. You played at a very good prep basketball program, and you played against some top-notch competition. Could you give us some details?
As a freshman and sophomore, my aspirations were to play basketball in college. It was my first love. I like the game, still follow it. I had a great coach and a great program my freshman and sophomore year. Small school, 220 kids or so. We only had we ended up being about 8 guys going down the stretch. So, it's about 6 or 7 of us that were playing all the minutes. But very well coached. Koki Robertson, he's one of the best coaches in the country right now. I think he's the most active, winningest coach in the country right now. And we played in the tough Baltimore Catholic League, played against some great players. The best one was probably Carmelo Anthony, which we played in the championship game my freshman year. He put on quite a performance, but we took the victory, so I can say I got one off on him.
And had you played basketball in college, do you think you could have aspired to play at a big time program?
I think if I would have worked a little more on my quickness and stuff, I had some of the skills and the talents. It would have been interesting to see if I would have stuck with it for those final 2 years of high school. But it was definitely a great experience and a lot of fun.
You mentioned your coach is a legend. How old is he?
He's pushing 70 probably. Still running strong. I know there's been talk about him winding down, but you see him out there on the court, you don't think he's stopping anytime soon.
You told me he's full of teaching.
He is. He's probably forgotten more than I'll ever know, and he's there for the kids, 12 months out of the year, and he's working hard, so it makes you want to work hard.
And finally, Nick, I know you wouldn't have gotten to the point you are now without some very supportive, loving parents. Both of your parents work.
Yes, my mom works for Bank One Chase, JP Morgan Chase. She's a bank VP there, credit cards and collections. My stepdad actually works there now too, under some fraud investigation and things. And my dad is a retired Secret Service. He was actually at the game last night. Made the trip.
Your dad got to see you pitch here.
Yeah, I actually reserved about 15 tickets last night, so I was happy I didn't let them down.
Nick, that is wonderful. Your father then helped protect probably the commander-in-chief, the president, over the last few decades, and he probably put himself in some pretty dangerous assignments.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. He always talked it down, but, that was coming firsthand. But, I really respected what he did. It was cool. It was interesting. It's nice to, your dad, when you're younger, your dad to have a profession like that really impresses a lot of people.
Yeah, it gets people's attention. My dad was a Secret Service agent.
Definitely. It was cool. You're young, you're 10 years old, you get to walk throughout the insides of the White House, the part people don't see, down in the basement and command posts and all that neat stuff. So it was cool.
Oh, that's great. Nick, congratulations on your terrific start, not only last night, but this whole season. And you'll be pitching again in the second leg of this road trip in Clinton, but then we return home for 8 games, and we want you to treat yourself to a meal with this $5 gift certificate from Zio Giano's to a wonderful pasta, homemade bread, pizza, spaghetti, whatever strikes your fancy at Zio Giano's. They'll cater to one person like yourself, Nick, or up to 10,001. Colonel right-hander Nick Adenhart, 19 years old, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
That's Nick Adenhart, last night's Colonel victorious pitcher, sharing his background with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. This evening, a pair of lefties will tangle Travis Wood for the Dayton Dragons and our own Kelly Shear on the hill for the Kernels. I'll have the starting lineups here from Dayton in just a moment. This has been the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners. We make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication. Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
And good Wednesday evening, Eastern Iowa. A special welcome to all of you that are tuned in on the Internet. I'm John Rogers, and we're glad to have you here with us in Dayton, Ohio. The Kernels and Dayton Dragons have split the first 2 games of this 4-game series. Dayton defeated the Kernels 10-4, walloping 8 extra base hits in the series opener Monday night. And then last night, I hope you heard us reflect just moments ago on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on the outstanding performance turned in once again by 19-year-old Colonel right-hander Nick Adenhart as the Kernels hit 3 home runs and stomped the Dragons 9-0. We have a little more time than we expected to set the scene here for you at Fifth Third Field because the tarp is on the field and a light drizzle is falling. It's been a cloudy, overcast day. It rained pretty hard a couple of hours ago, but right now it's just drizzling, and I would bet my bottom dollar tonight that we'll get this one in, first and foremost, because over 7,500 tickets have been sold, and the Dragons certainly don't want to turn a gate away like that, and they'll be committed as our general manager, Jack Rader, and his award-winning groundskeeper son, Jesse Rader, are so committed to getting all of our ball games in, if at all possible. This field drains very well, and I would suspect we will get this ball game in. While we have a few minutes before we set the starting lineups for this evening's 3rd game of the series, let's give you an update on where the Kernels stand in the Western Division first half race. The win last night upped the ball club's record to 16-16, good enough for its sole possession of 3rd place in the Western Division first half standings. Kane County and Peoria lead the West with records of 18 and 14. Then the Kernels check in sole possession of third place at 16 and 16. Beloit is 1/2 game back of the Kernels at 15 and 16. Wisconsin's a game back of the Kernels. The Timber Rattlers have won 15 and lost 17. Then the swing of the Quad Cities, 4 games back of first, 2 behind the Kernels. The Cardinal minor leaguers in Davenport are 14 and 18. Burlington and Clinton are a little bit further off the pace. The Kansas City Royal minor leaguers, the Burlington Bees, stand at 12 and 20, 6 lengths out of first and 4 behind the Kernels. Then the Clinton Lumber Kings, the team will take on in the second leg of this 8-game road trip, are in 8th place with a record of 10 and 22. Dayton, meanwhile, sits in 4th place in the Eastern Division standings. In the East, West Michigan setting a torrid pace. They have the best mark in the Midwest League. The Whitecaps are 21 and 10. Earlier this spring at Veterans Memorial Stadium, the Kernels split 4 with the Detroit Tiger farmhands. West Michigan's 21 and 10. They lead that hot Lansing ball club that swept us during the last road trip, but Lansing's really cooled off. They're 20 and 12, a game and a half back of the Whitecaps. Then come the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays at 18 and 14. They're 3.5 back. And then our opponents in this series, the Dayton Dragons, 16 and 16, an identical record as the Kernels. Dayton's 5.5 games back in the Eastern Division standings. The tarp is white here, all white, and the grounds crew is walking around the diamond, squeegeeing some of the standing water into the drains that are located underneath the grass of the outfield. And a good crowd will be on hand here tonight despite the threatening conditions. Dayton has been some success story since they took the Midwest League and minor league baseball in general by storm when they opened this beautiful ballpark in downtown Dayton 7 seasons ago. They've had a couple of marquee players that are, well, really the entire Cincinnati Red outfield came right here through Dayton on their way to the so-called show. Adam Dunn, I remember Adam playing in Rockford for the Rockford Reds. He played here in the year 2000, the first year the Dragons were in the league. Austin Kearns has made it himself a slot in the big leagues with Cincinnati. He played here in the year 2000. So, too, did Willie Mo Pena. He played here in 2001. And those 3 fellows have helped the Reds to their surprisingly strong start in the National League Central. They played right here in Dayton. This ballpark and this city are only located 55 miles north of Cincinnati, so they have an ideal situation, much like the Peoria Chiefs have in Central Illinois. Peoria, of course, is now a Cub affiliate, but for a long time they were a Cardinal affiliate. Chicago fans and Cardinal fans, Cub fans and Cardinal fans abound in Central Illinois, and that's a real advantage to a franchise to have that close connection geographically to your big league squad. The Kernels, of course, affiliated the longest of any team with the same big league squad as far as the Midwest League goes. We've been with the Angels for so many years, and we've remarked how neat it is now to see fellows like Howie Kendrick and Mike Napoli and Tommy Murphy joining Jeff Mathis, who's now back at AAA, Casey Kochman, former Colonel, who's now on the disabled list with the virus, and that prompted the promotion of Dallas McPherson. Dallas is back with the big club, and they're playing tonight at U.S. Cellular Field. You heard Bob Brooks, the Hall of Fame sportscaster and sports director at K-Memory, refer to the Angels as the slumping Angels, and Bob was right on with that description. Boy, our parent club has really hit the skids with the loss of Bartolo Colon and the injury to Darren Erstad. They just haven't been able to produce any kind of consistent offense, and when you lose a Cy Young Award winner and then in Bartolo Colon and the heart and soul of your ball club in Darren Erstad, you definitely have to try to fill some vacancies, some big shoes that are hard to fill. And I think the Angels fortunate that the West, nobody's going to run away with the West, at least not now, but you can't let Oakland, Texas, or Seattle all 3 get in front of you because then it becomes very tough to try to leapfrog those 3 teams. We want to remind you that this is the Kernel Radio Network, and you're enjoying this rain delay scenario on 1450 KMRY, Cedar Rapids. want to thank all the crew back there as they've helped us through a couple of bumps in the road here in Dayton. The grounds crew is now heading out in their maroon shirts with burgundy or khaki shorts, and looks like they're going to pull the tarp back, so that's good news. We're still quite a bit away from starting tonight's action, and if need be, we may send it back to Julia Kent at KMRY for some great music, but right now we're still having an enjoyable conversation with you back at home in eastern Iowa. Let's let you know what's in store for you when we return home. We're back at home after our 4 games here in Dayton and then 4 in Clinton. We return home to take on the Quad City River Bandits, the first of 8 games at home, starting Tuesday night, the 16th. In other words, a week from last night, Tuesday the 16th, we'll open our 8-game homestand against the Quad City River, the Swing of the Quad Cities. There I go again. The Swing of the Quad Cities. How can you forget their Texas burnt orange jerseys and their baby blue or powder blue uniforms? And they're the Cardinal affiliate in this league. Tuesday is a triple play Tuesday, and I was glad to get an email from the Kernel Media Relations Director, Todd Brummelkamp. Todd telling me he's missing the roasted peanuts here in Dayton, but Todd, if I can sneak any of those on the Tri-State Travel Motor Coach and have them for you Friday night when we play Clinton, I'll sure try to do that. But Todd reminded me of what comprises a triple play Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, the 16th, for $5, you can enjoy any type of sandwich, any kind of sandwich we have to offer at the ballpark. Before I was saying cheeseburger or hamburger, but I was giving out not the complete picture of what a triple play Tuesday is. For just $5, you can enjoy any kind of sandwich we offer at the ballpark, plus beverage and chips for only $5. That's this Tuesday, May 16th. 5:30 is when the gates open, and we'll start at 6:30. Then Wednesday, Fairfax State Savings Bank. As you've been hearing all spring long here between innings, David Bolt of KMRY does a fantastic offer, or he makes the offer on behalf of Fairfax State Savings Bank. It's a Fairfax State Savings Bank Money Wednesday on Wednesday the 17th. The gates open at 5:30. It's important you know that because the first 750 of you Kernel fans will receive an envelope from Fairfax State Savings Bank with cash in it, up to $100 in cold hard cash, greenbacks from Fairfax State Savings Bank. This coming Wednesday, a week from tonight, May 17th, is our next Fairfax State Savings Bank Money Wednesday. And before we get to Thursday's Bucket Cup Wednesday, next Thursday, good news here from Dayton. The tarp is being removed, and they're actually rolling the cylinder, the black cylinder, towards the white tarp, and they're going to roll it up. And even though it's continuing to drizzle here at Fifth Third Field, they're getting this diamond in shape to play baseball. All right, we've covered the first 2 games of our upcoming 8-game homestand. Thursday the 18th, a week from tomorrow night, it'll be a Bucket Cup Wednesday, and that means you can enjoy a 12-ounce draft beer, a 12-ounce soda, or a slushie for only $1. Bottled water and bottled soda only $2 on Thursday, May 18th. The gates open at 5:30. The game against the Swing of the Quad Cities starts at 6:30 for our next Bucket Cup Thursday. That's Thursday, May 18th. Friday the 19th, we play the Swing of the Quad Cities in the series finale. And that game will get underway at 6:30. We really don't have to tell you much more than that because Friday nights are very popular at the ballpark. School, no school the next day. You're finishing up, hopefully, your Monday through Friday work week. And hopefully the weather will be great a week from this Friday. That is Friday, May 19th. Then we shift gears and welcome in the Oakland Athletic minor leaguers, the Kane County Cougars, a 5 o'clock start Saturday. That's our first fireworks extravaganza. Jack Rader, our general manager, was very excited about letting me share the good news about Saturday night, May 20th. A special night. The gates open at 4. And again, right after the game, before the fireworks, you can join the Kernels on the field for autographs, play catch with your friends and family, and then sit back after that interlude on the field and enjoy the fireworks. In fact, you can also run the bases after Saturday's game. I forgot to mention that that's a Velocity Sports Performance Saturday sponsored Kids Run the Bases before the fireworks start on Saturday, May 20th. You kids can run the bases, and the Kernels will also be signing autographs, and you can play catch on the field after the game on Saturday the 20th before the fireworks. The number to call for Kernel tickets is 896-7560, 896-7560. Let me double-check that. I always get that phone number turned around, and I know I have a few family members that are dyslexic, and I hope that I have that phone number right. 896-7560 is that Kernel ticket number. Dyslexia, of course, means you get your numbers and words kind of in front of opposite order, and I should have that Kernel phone number for tickets rubber stamped across my brain, but sometimes I get those two numbers mixed up. It is 896-7560 for Kernel tickets. Then on Sunday the 21st, a family fun day, and we'll have travel advisors stepping to the plate on Sunday the 21st for the 2 o'clock game. They'll be giving away to one of you lucky Kernel fans a basketball signed by the Orlando Magic, beach gear, and T-shirts. And everybody will get to enjoy dollar popcorn this Sunday, or a week from this Sunday, the 21st. You can spend time either on the concourse or on the field as the Kernels will be giving autographs before the game. And then again, Velocity Sports Performance is glad to sponsor running the bases after the game. You can also play catch on the field following the Family Fun Sunday, May 21st. The gates open at 1 o'clock, and that's important because the Kernels will start giving autographs at 1:20 on Sunday the 21st. Then we have single games on Monday the 22nd and Tuesday the 23rd. Monday the 22nd is a Dollar Dog Monday. Hot dogs are only $1 on Monday, May 22nd. And then we finish the 8-game homestand with a nooner. Those are so very popular. A noon start on Tuesday, the 23rd of May. Of course, that'll be a triple play Tuesday. Any sandwich in the ballpark for along with chips and a drink for only $5 on the 23rd, Tuesday. That's a noon game. Well, that's a look ahead at the upcoming homestand. Here from Dayton, the grounds crew is now puffing and puffing, and just like a blocking sled in the college gridiron football practices, they're pushing that tarp up against the first base stands here at Fifth Third Field, just beyond the Kernel first base dugout. We did have some finals. Bob Brooks gave them to you earlier this evening on his sports report here on our broadcast before the Kernels and Dragons play in Game 3 of this series. State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Dale Thompson, Brad Dunn, and Al Shetler bring you finals from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. At Ameriquest Field in Arlington this afternoon, the Twins shaded the Rangers 4-3. And this afternoon at Kauffman Stadium, the Royals outslugged the Indians 10-8, and the Royals took 3 from Cleveland as they completed a sweep this afternoon in Kansas City. The Royals crowned the Indians 10-8. At New Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the Cardinals flew past the Rockies 7-4, so St. Louis wins this afternoon 7-4. Everything else on the State Farm Major League scoreboard is under the lights. Well, wait a minute. We have another final. Another final has come in just as we were giving you those scores this afternoon in Seattle. Joe Madden, the former right-hand man of Mike Scioscia, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim skipper, Joe Madden has had his club in Seattle this afternoon blank the Mariners 1-0. The Devil Rays shut out Seattle at Safeco Field 1-0, and that raises Tampa Bay's record to 14-21. Joe Madden will try to keep that Devil Ray club growing, improving, and competitive in his first year at the helm. So a final from Safeco Field. The Devil Rays blank the Mariners 1-0. The Red Sox and Yankees are just underway in the Bronx, no score, with Boston batting in the top of the first. It's the Tigers and Orioles clashing, and they're playing at Camden Yards this evening. Detroit batting in the top of the first, no score with the Orioles. Toronto is hosting Oakland tonight at Rogers Center, and the Athletics are batting in the first inning, no score with the Blue Jays. Later tonight, our parent club, the Angels, they've dipped to 6 games below 500. They're 14-20. They will play the White Sox at U.S. Cellular Field. I remember the great consternation among a lot of baseball folks when the White Sox really struggled in spring training out in the Cactus League. But look where they are now. They have the best record in the major leagues, 23-9 for the defending champion White Sox, and they look very, very poor, played poorly in spring training. In the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, the Diamondbacks are at PNC Park. They're batting in the top of the first, no score with the Pirates. Atlanta and Florida just about to get underway at Dolphin Stadium in Miami. The Phillies are entertaining the Mets. The Phillies have won 9 in a row to up their record to 18-14, and the Mets are batting in the top of the first at Philadelphia's Citizens Bank Ballpark, no score. The Reds, the parent club of these Dragons, are off to a great start, 21-20. They have their ace pitching tonight, Aaron Harang, one of their 2 starters who have fared well. Harang, along with Bronson Arroyo, and it's the Nationals batting in the first inning at Great America Ballpark, 55 minutes south of here, no score. Later tonight, the Brewers take on the Padres at Petco Park. The Astros and Dodgers will tangle in Los Angeles, and the Cubs will be out to snap a long losing skid as they take on the Giants at SBC Park. That's our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Brad Dunn, Al Shetler, and Dale Thompson. The Dayton Dragons have just started to warm up. They're trotting from the left field foul pole into the center field area, 402 feet away, doing a light jog. The Kernels are now starting to trickle out of their first base dugout to get loose for this one. I'm John Rogers reporting in Dayton at Fifth Third Field, where the Kernels even the series with the Dragons with a 9-0 win last night behind starter Nick Adenhart. It was interesting to hear Nick's comments on the South Slope Communications Triple Play show. He beamed, telling us about his high school team in the Baltimore Catholic League knocking off Carmelo Anthony's team in the playoffs, and that's the kind of athlete that Nick Adenhart is. He had his heart set on playing basketball until his junior year in high school, and then set his sights on the hill. But he told me he played under one of the best high school coaches in the nation, a 70-year-old fella who Nick said knew more about basketball than Nick could forget. And Nick Adenhart said this basketball coach was very demanding and tough, but also very fair, and that you felt like working as hard as he did towards success. And Nick Adenhart was beaming about his Catholic League cage team, his basketball team, knocking off a team that Carmelo Anthony was on. Well, let's take a moment, and we'll take a break, hear from Dayton's Fifth Third Field, and when I return, we'll set the starting lineups for the third game and see how our timetable progresses. John Rogers, during a rain delay, the tarp is off, the grounds crew is tending to the field, and when I return, we'll have the starting lineups for this third game of a 4-game series. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ear, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper, she's a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
Welcome back to Dayton, Ohio. I apologize for that unexpected lapse in air time, but I thought we had another message coming your way. We're getting ready, the Kernels are, that is, to take on Dayton in Game 3 of a 4-game set. We talked about the upcoming Kernel homestand, which commences after we finish 4 in Dayton. We'll begin the homestand on Tuesday, May 16th. We've reviewed the standings for you. The Kernels sitting at the 500 mark, 16-16, 2 games back of Kane County and Peoria. And we've reviewed the State Farm Major League scoreboard for finals from this afternoon, and also talked a little bit about the phenomenal success of this Dayton franchise as they have drawn over 7,500 in each of the first 2 games of this series. The skipper for the Dragons is Billy Gardner Jr. You may recognize his father. He managed in the big leagues with the Twins in Kansas City. Billy Gardner Jr. managed right here in the Midwest League when I was first getting started in 97 and 98. He managed the the Michigan Battle Cats. They're now the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays. They were a Boston Red Sox affiliate. Billy has spent his last 3 seasons managing in the Royals system. Last year he was with the High Desert Mavericks in the California League. He and his troops, the Dayton Dragons, are doing some high leg kicks down the left field line, and the Kernels are forming a circle in the shallow right field with their strength and conditioning coach, Andrew Emick. Let's set the starting lineups for the 3rd game of this series, featuring the best hitting team in the league, the Dayton Dragons, at 16-16, Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds, and our Kernels, the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the 2005 American League Western Division champion, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Leading off for Dayton, the second baseman, Mike Griffin. Griffin is the league leader in doubles. He has 13 doubles this year to go along with his .315 batting average. Mike Griffin leads off at second this evening. Batting second, the shortstop out of Rice University, Paul Janish, Janish. Janish leads the league with a .404 batting average. Paul had one of the 4 hits off Nick Adenhart last night. Janish is way ahead of the next man in the batting rates. Janish, the league leader, with a .404 average, the next highest average by a Midwest League hitter, .337. Paul Janish bats second at short for Dayton. Hitting third, the designated hitter, Jay Bruce. Bruce, a 19-year-old left-handed batter, hit 2 home runs Monday night in the series opener. Jay struck out 3 times against Nick Adenhart last night. Jay Bruce is a 19-year-old left-handed hitter who was drafted first by the Reds last year out of Beaumont, Texas. Bruce is tied for 3rd in the league with 23 RBIs, 3rd in the league with 11 doubles, and he's tied for 1st in the league with 20 extra base hits. Jay Bruce bats 3rd for Dayton, the DH. B.J. Szymanski will be in center field. The switch hitter is 2nd in the league with 8 home runs. He also leads Dayton with 8 stolen bases. Szymanski was a 2-sport star in the Ivy League with Princeton. Batting 5th, the 3rd baseman out of Kansas State, Eric Eyman, Eymann. Eyman will hit 5th. He homered in the series opener here Monday night. Big Bobby Mosby, 6'1", 290 pounds, will be at first base, and Mosby will bat 6th for Dayton. Craig Tatum will catch and bat 7th. Hitting 8th is Gerardo Cabrera in right field. And batting 9th out of the United States Military Academy in left field, Josh Holden. On the hill for the Dragons was Cincinnati's 2nd-round pick in last year's draft, 19-year-old southpaw Travis Wood. Travis pitched in 8 games with the Gulf Coast League Reds in his rookie year of pro ball last year. No record, but a 0.75 ERA. Then he started 4 games and pitched 2 in relief for the Billings Mustangs in the Pioneer League. He was 2-0 with a 1.82 ERA. Travis Wood, a 19-year-old southpaw, is 2-0 this year for the Dragons with a 4.50 ERA. In 28 innings, he's given up 24 hits, struck out 32 in 28 innings, walked 14. This is his 7th start of the season, no complete games for 19-year-old lefty Travis Wood. His last start was in Clinton at Alliant Energy Field on Friday night. A no decision in a Dayton 11-7 loss to the Lumber Kings. Travis Wood went 5 2/3 in that start, surrendered 4 runs to Clinton on Friday night on 3 hits, fanned 7 5 2/3, walked a pair. The league hitting .224 against southpaw Travis Wood, 6 feet 165. He's just starting to warm up down the left field line. In fact, he hasn't taken the hill yet. He's warming up with the bullpen catcher on the grass in left field. Well, that's how the Dayton Dragons will line up this evening. Now let's give you the starting lineup for the Kernels. It's brought to you by Allen Motor Company. The Kernel record this year, 16-16, 9-6 at home, 7-10 on the road. Allen Motor Company, they're open late until 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, and they have a fabulous offer for you. If you buy a 2005 Buick LeSabre at just $199 a month, a 2005 Buick Custom, or a 2005 Buick Rendezvous, your first year's maintenance is on Allen's. That's right. Allen's will take care of your new purchase free of charge for the first year. You can visit Allen's spectacular campus, 13-acre facility, I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. They're open until 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. Or you can visit Allen's virtual showroom, www.allenmotor.com, ALLENMOTOR.com. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, leading off in center field, Brad Kuhn. He's 4th in the league with 9 stolen bases. He tripled and scored and doubled and scored in last night's Kernel 9-0 win. Kuhn in center leads it off. Batting second, Heinle Stacia. Heinle has 5 hits in this series. The switch-hitting shortstop hitting second in the Allen Motor Company order. Dallas Morris will be at his accustomed third base spot. Dallas will hit third and play third for the Kernels. Jordan Renz has 5 hits and 8 at-bats in this series, and Jordan has belted 2 home runs. Renz in right field batting cleanup for the Kernels. Clint Whipke back in the Kernel lineup. He has a 9-game hitting streak intact. Whipke didn't play in last night's Kernel win. Clint will bat 5th and serve as the designated hitter. Mark Trumbo belted a 3-run homer in the 6th inning last night to vault the Kernels from a 1-0 lead into a 4-0 advantage. Trumbo's home run was his 4th of the season. It came on an 0-2 pitch, a 3-run blast, and it was Mark Trumbo's home run last night was our PRC play of the game. Trumbo at first will bat 6th. Hitting 7th, the catcher, Brett Martinez. Martinez will bat 7th and catch. Warner Madrigal's in left field. And hitting 8th, Warner homered last night, and he's homered 3 times this week. Madrigal hitting 8th and left. And batting 9th in the Allen Motor Company starting lineup, the second baseman, Marco Albano. On the hill for the Kernels is Kelly Shear. Kelly's making his 7th start of the year. He's 1-1 and lost 2, an ERA of 4.40 for the 21-year-old southpaw from Texas. Kelly pitched Friday night at home against Wisconsin. That was his last start. A no decision as the Kernels rallied from a 6-1 hole to tie the game, only to see the Timber Rattlers score a pair in the top of the 9th and win it. Kelly Shear pitched 5 innings in his last start Friday at home against Wisconsin. He gave up 6 runs, 5 earned in 5 innings on 7 hits, struck out none, and walked 3. Kelly Shear has allowed 35 hits in 30 2/3 innings, struck out 23, walked 17. He's pitted against another southpaw, 19-year-old lefty for Dayton, Travis Wood. Well, that's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. We're going to take another break here from Fifth Third Field, where we're scheduled to start, I think, in about 15 minutes. I'm John Rogers. It's great to have you along for this extended look at Game 3 of this 4-game series. We'll be back with more in just a moment. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and by Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Welcome back to Dayton's Fifth Third Field, where the Kernels and Dragons continue to warm up before Game 3 of this 4-game series. And one of the many blessings and joys of my position the last 11 years with the ball club has been forging friendships with people who love baseball, love the form of wholesome, affordable family entertainment that only minor league baseball can provide. And I can count now another friend here in Dayton, Mark Katz. Mark is a outstanding longtime journalist. He covers the Dragons for the Dayton Daily News, does a fabulous job. And Mark very kindly had remembered that I am a big history fan and a sports fan. And Mark, if you could relay to our listeners what you treated me to this morning on our mini field trip.
Well, we went to the site of the Dayton Triangles and where they played their first NFL game. Right here against the the Columbus Panhandlers, and it's very near Fifth Third Field in Dayton, Ohio. And in 1920, that's where the National Football League was started.
Unbelievable, Mark. The American Professional Football Association. There's a beautiful Ohio historical marker there, and you were instrumental in helping see that happened, so that great history, the site of the first NFL game, it was called the American Professional Football Association in 1920. Dayton Triangles beat Columbus Panhandles 14-0. How did you go about wooing or getting the state legislature to earmark money for that fabulous historic marker at Triangle Park?
I actually didn't have too much to do with that. What we did, I'm part of a committee that's trying to get a sports museum in just off of downtown Dayton. And one of the members of that committee was extremely interested in the Dayton Triangles. And he did research and he petitioned the NFL. And there's actually a little display in Canton, Ohio, where the NFL Hall of Fame is, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And he got something up there, and he got the National Historical Society to put a marker where there's actually a baseball field there now, as you saw. And you were the one that pointed out, the stands. There's a hill off the first baseline, and there are stands that are sort of set into that hill, concrete stands. And they're at an odd angle for baseball. And we figured out that they were put there for the football field, which was at a little bit different angle, and they would have been perfect for the football field. So, there's historic stuff here. And of course, I told you that Mike Schmidt played on that field.
Yes, I want to hear about that because you covered Mike Schmidt on the former site of the American Professional Football Association first NFL game ever, 1920. Mike Schmidt played his amateur career here in Dayton. His last amateur game you covered at Howell Field.
At Howell Field. I can't remember what he did in that game, but it was right before the draft. I think it was the 1971 draft. And, he was a terrific player. He was a terrific high school player here, and he hurt his knee playing football. And he was a football, basketball, baseball player. And his senior year was just kind of okay because he was, rehabbing that knee. In those days, there was no arthroscopic surgery there. I mean, they cut into your knee, and if you looked at Mike's knee today, it would have this big scar on it. And he went to Ohio University as a walk-on. One of his friends at Fairview High School, which is also, I didn't tell you this, Edwin Moses went to Fairview High School, too.
Undefeated for something
like 7 years.
In the 400-meter hurdle. So Edwin Moses, the 400-meter hurdler here, he was born and raised here in Dayton.
Oh, yeah.
Great story.
And, well, anyway, so Mike went with a buddy to Ohio University, and the great Bob Wren was the coach there. And noticed right away that he was a pretty good player, and he walked on the team as a shortstop in those days, and he eventually got a scholarship and became an All-American. And Ohio University, which is a small school in the north, ended up going to the College World Series one year, and then Mike was a second-round draft choice of the Philadelphia Phillies, so everybody passed on him once, and there we have it. She's in the Hall of Fame.
You shared an interesting story that I want you to, and this is fascinating, hearing from Dayton Daily News correspondent Mark Katz. He covers the Dragons and has a tremendous love of sports and community and history, and we spent some time together this morning seeing the site where the first American Professional Football Association, the precursor to the NFL game, was played at Triangle Park in 1920 here in Dayton. Mike Schmidt gave it a go as a manager in the Philadelphia Phillies minor league system in the Gulf Coast Rookie League, Mark, and it just wasn't the right fit for Schmitty.
No, he had a problem developing players over winning. He wanted to win every game, and in the minor leagues, I don't know if it's unfortunate or not, but it's the number one goal is to develop a player, and if you've got a guy that you think has a high ceiling and can be a really good player, you'll play him over a guy that might be hitting 350 or something,
per order of the brass upstairs. And Mike Schmidt had to take those orders.
I think he had a problem with that. He wanted to win games. They didn't have a very good record. I don't think they had very good players. So he wanted to win, and they couldn't do that. But I'm not sure that his makeup is the right makeup to be a manager anyway.
Well, he also, and I know our listeners would enjoy hearing about this, Mark Katz, he also is a very fine golfer, and
he is.
Tinkered with a career in that.
Yeah, he was thinking that he was going to be on the Masters or the senior circuit, and he's a scratch golfer, but those guys are unbelievable. I mean, those guys are
they're professionals.
They're professionals. It's like the guys that are on the Nike tour, or that what used to be the Nike tour, and they changed it to the .com tour and then something else. But those guys are scratch golfers too, and they're shooting 75, 76s, and 77s, which you and I would be thrilled to shoot. And they're not. Yeah, and they're not yet on the PGA tour. So. He still golfs a lot, and he gives speaking engagements, and of course he has a book out now.
He does.
And he's from right here in Dayton, Ohio.
Well, that's a lot to be proud of. So, too, are the efforts you and your colleagues are making to establish the Sports Hall of Fame. Mark Katz, as the pitchers warm up, we've set the lineups for this evening's contest. One thing I've learned one of many things I've learned in my 11 years in eastern Iowa is, as popular as the Kernels are and continue to be, the Hawkeyes even have a higher level of following. And you were at Woody Hayes' last game. Tell our Hawkeye football fans about that.
Well, that was pretty amazing. I mean, it was against Clemson in the Gator Bowl. It was a Friday night game, and Woody had been having a problem for a couple of years, and
with his temper,
with his temper, and he had some diabetes, and he some physical problems,
sure,
he probably should have retired, and he didn't know how to do that. So he gets into this game with Clemson, and we get down to the Gator Bowl, and there was 80,000 fans there, and there was probably 70,000 of them were Clemson. I mean, the stadium was orange, and it was just, awful. And Art Schleusser was the quarterback, and of course everybody knows right at the end of the game they're driving for what would have been the winning touchdown. He throws an interception, and Charlie Bowman intercepts it, and comes back to the Ohio State bench, and you can't really see it on TV because they cut the picture, but he came into the sideline, and Woody took a swing at him, and of course a couple hours later they fired Woody over that. But I think that was just an excuse. They had been looking for ways to get rid of him. It was just a shame that it happened that way.
And Mark, I don't bring that up for Hawkeye fans to be gleeful or anything of the sort. It's just it was an historic moment.
Oh, yeah,
it certainly shouldn't detract. It's a blemish on Woody's greatness, but it's not his body of work. It's a small blimp.
It's just as that pink locker room that Hayden Fry put in was not a body of work for him. I mean, I'd go in there for interviews after a game. I said,
now, Mark, you're endearing yourself to our Hawkeye fans. One last thought, Mark, before we let you go, because you have to cover this game from start to finish. Mark Katz is with us. The umpires are out on the field, and let's tell you, they're sponsored, as always, by Anderson & Brown Eye Care, 1450 Boyson Road in Hiawatha. Anderson & Brown Eye Care is your full-service, comprehensive eye care source, exams, glasses, contact lenses. Easy in, easy out at Anderson & Brown Eye Care. They sponsor our umpires. Things are coming into focus at Anderson & Brown Eye Care. They're proud to sponsor our umpires. Mark Katz, I thought it would be fitting if you told our listeners where you made an extra special effort and trip to when you visited Iowa City.
Well, I was, covered Ohio State for 20 years, and I made several trips to Iowa City. And the last 3 times I went up to Dyersville and saw the Field of Dreams, and it was cold, but it was kind of neat. And
you had your picture taken.
Oh yeah, I took my picture and in there and coming out of the corn, and it was cool. And something that I didn't tell you, I also covered the game that essentially got Earl Bruce fired at Ohio State against Iowa. 4th and 24 from the 28-yard line. Chuck Long completed a pass. The guy caught it between 2 defenders, twisted, and fell into the end zone by inches.
Mark, that has brought a lot of smiles to Hawkeye fans. I believe, I'm not a huge Hawkeye guy because I've only lived in the state 11 years, but I believe Marv Cook was that tight end.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
That is something.
It was unbelievable.
You were at the
unbelievable, and they were going to accept a bowl bid as they were winning that game, and then the president told the athletic director, Rick Bay, he said, no bowl bid, forget that. And 2 days later, they fired Earl. And then he came on and he beat Michigan in his last game.
Oh, sweet justice.
Yeah.
Mark Katz, the Dragons are being introduced out of their third base dugout. Thank you for extending the arm of friendship to me during this series. Thank you for enlightening our listeners on your terrific background. And enjoy this third game as you cover it for your Dayton Daily News.
Okay, thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Mark Katz, a delightful fella who really has a lot of great stories about his background here in Ohio, and he relayed several of them to you during this lead-up to Game 3 of our 4-game series. Mark Katz of the Dayton Daily News. Well, the Dragons have hit the diamond, and let's review for you. They have Holden from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point in left, a Princeton man, Szymanski in center, and Gerardo Cabrera in right. Eric Imans at third, the league's leading hitter with a .404 average, Paul Janish at short, Mike Griffin's at second, Bobby Mosby at first, he checks in at 290 pounds, and a battery of Travis Wood, a lefty, 19 years old, and Craig Tatum, the catcher for the Dragons. Thanks for all of your patience. Hey, this 45-minute delay was a lot of fun for me to be able to converse with you about upcoming fun at the ballpark. Our 8-game homestand begins Tuesday, May 16th. The Kernels and Dragons with identical records of 16 and 16, and now we're on the threshold of these lefties, Travis Wood for the Dragons and Kelly Shear for the Kernels, pitching opponents in this third game of the series. Well, the Dragons have taken the field. Let's pause now to honor America with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. That's the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner here in Dayton, Ohio, where the Kernels and Dragons have been delayed 46 minutes due to some showers and wet grounds, but we're ready to go, and we're glad you're with us here on 1450 KMRY. Travis Wood, the lefty, will take his final warm-up tosses, and he's set to face Brad Kuhn, Heinle Stacia, Dallas Morris here in the top half of the first inning. The lights are on. The Kernel Foundation Golf with the Kernel outing is set, and it's coming up quickly. Noon on Wednesday, May 24th. A 4-person scramble with Kernel players and coaches. It's at Wildcat, that beautiful 18-hole course in Schellsburg, and you're invited to join us for the annual Kernel Foundation Golf with the Kernels outing, noon, Wednesday, May 24th. Jessica Ferguson will sign you up. You can call Jessica at 896-7608. 896-7608 for the annual Golf with the Kernels outing, and that goes to benefit the Kernel Foundation, and that's the foundation that has been established to raise funds for athletic programs or facilities in eastern Iowa. That date again, Wednesday, May 24th, the Golf with the Kernels, Kernel Foundation Golf Outing. The Dayton Dragons have posted a 7-10 record here at home this spring. On the road, they're better, 9-6, 16-16 overall. And Dayton has a team ERA of 4.51. That's the second highest earned run average in the Midwest League, so they're ranked 13th of 14 teams in pitching. Their forte is offense. Dayton is hitting .271 as a club, best in the league, and they've socked 27 home runs, that too the highest total in the Midwest League. Travis Wood is ready, so's Brad Kuhn. It's 70 degrees, overcast, lights on, but the skies are not opening up with any rain now, so we're glad you're here. And the game's first pitch to Brad Kuhn is taken for a strike. Our plate umpire is going to be very deliberate in his approach. Well, now they've told us that the game time temperature is 63 as Brad Kuhn backs away from a pitch inside, ball one. Kuhn tripled leading off the 6th and scored, doubled leading off the 9th and scored last night. He was 2 for 4. And Brad slaps the 1-1 pitch foul straight back, facing the 19-year-old Travis Wood. Brad Kuhn's 23 years old, and he hit an even .300 last season for the Orem Owls in 61 games. Brad has to be thrilled to be playing here in Dayton. He's from the state of Ohio. And he shoots one high in the air foul over the third base club level. We're on the club level, the only stadium in the Midwest League with two distinctive levels. 6 rows of maroon or burgundy seats right below us, and to our left and right, 36 luxury suites. Kuhn rips a base hit into right, and Gerardo Cabrera in that wet grass picks it up and holds Brad to a base hit. A single, that is. Brad Kuhn solves the lefty as he drilled a single into right field. And the Kernels have their leadoff man aboard here in the first inning, and the batter, Heinle Stacia. As I said moments ago in the introduction of the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, Brad Kuhn is 4th in the league with 9 steals. He's been caught 4 times. The Kernels lead the Midwest League in stolen bases. 46 steals in 32 games. Heinle Stacia takes high for ball one. Heinle, a switch hitter batting right, has 5 hits in 8 trips to the plate in this series. He walked in the first last night, but was picked off. The lefty deals, and it's a changeup low, and it's 2-0 to the switch-hitting shortstop, Heinle Stacia. Kuhn is single to right. Brad has a short lead at first. The lefty brings it, and here's a foul straight back here, right above our perch to the right of home plate, and down below it goes. Dayton in their white home uniforms with cutout sleeves, black socks, black hats with green bills, and green numbers trimmed in black with their names on the back of their uniforms. Here's a throw to first, and Brad Kuhn is back standing up. Kuhn is dwarfed by Bobby Mosby. Brad Kuhn weighs about 170 pounds. Bobby Mosby, the first baseman, weighs 290. There's a throw to first, and Brad dives back in hand first. Travis Wood is on the hill for the Dragons. This is his second year of pro ball. He's from Arkansas, taken in the second round by the Reds last year. There goes Kuhn. He got a flying start and a high fly ball to straightaway center. Brad will have to retreat back to the bag as B.J. Szymanski catches it in center. Heinle Stacia flies to center. Kuhn had that base stolen, but Stacia had no way of knowing that. Heinle had a pitch to his liking, and he flies out to straightaway center, 1 away here in the Kernel first inning. Gallus Morris hit by a pitch last night with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. That drove in a run in the Kernel 9-0 win. Dallas was 0 for 4. He's a right-handed batter out of Louisiana Lafayette. A throw to first, and Kuhn's back again, standing up. The Kernels are in their gray road uniforms with red batting helmets, red socks, red numbers trimmed in white. Another throw to first, and Brad's back again standing up. Dallas Morris with a .216 average uses a rust-colored bat. Kuhn is going to throw to first, and Mosby whips it to second, and Brad's picked off. The caught stealing goes 1-3-6. Brad Kuhn caught stealing for the 5th time in 14 tries this year. And again, the caught stealing went 1-3-6. Tough to read those lefties, and Brad couldn't do it. He's picked off. Pitcher to first to short. So the bases are empty now with 2 out. Travis Wood's curveball is upstairs. It's 2-0 to Dallas Morris. Dallas hit .302 with the Orem Owls last year with 9 homers, 52 RBIs. He takes high and away from Travis Wood, ball 3. The outfield plays Dallas straight away. Lights are on here at Fifth Third Field in Dayton. A high drive to left sends Josh Holden at the wall, and adios! It's a home run for Dallas Morris down the left field line, right between the 320 and 338 marks. Dallas Morris, with his 3rd home run of the season, gives the Kernels an early lead, 1-0. Dallas teed off on a 3-0 pitch from Travis Wood and belted it high and deep down the left field line. Travis Holden drifted back to the wall, looked high above the 8-foot-high green padded fence, and watched it sail out of here. Dallas Morris has put the Kernels ahead here in the top of the first, 1-0 with his 3rd home run of the year. Now ball 1 high to Jordan Renz. That's another $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir, donated to the Haycap Food Reservoir from PRC's Community Care. PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign is now donated $475 to the Haycap Food Reservoir to bring food home to the hungry in our community. Jordan Renz, who's 5 for 8 in this series, is ahead 2-0. Now a change-up upstairs, 3-0 to Renz. Dallas Morris on a 3-0 pitch cranked one high and deep down the left field line for a home run. The 19th Kernel home run of the year. A 3-0 pitch, and Renz fouls it straight back. So Jordan was given the green light on 3-0. Jordan Renz scored 3 runs last night. He homered in the 4th to break a scoreless tie, then had an RBI triple in the Kernel 3-run 9th inning. There's a pitch high, and I had the count completely mixed up. It was not 3-0. That was a 1-2 pitch. I'm having trouble reading the plate umpire's signals. So it's 2-2 to Jordan Renz, right-handed hitting cleanup batter. He went around on a fastball down and in, didn't mean to. He broke his wrist, and he strikes out. In the Kernel first, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Dayton errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty. And after 1/2 inning from Fifth Third Field here in Dayton, the Kernels won. The Dragons coming to bat. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Duffy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care, featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup, are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Beacon Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Bill Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Dallas Morris socking a 2-out home run in the first has given the Kernels and Kelly Shear an early lead here in Dayton. The fans enjoying a couple of contestants on top of each dugout top, trying to fit into a couple of frozen T-shirts. As I told you, my temperature gauge here says 70 degrees, but they announced at game time it was 63 degrees. Delightfully cool. Overcast Wednesday night. Kelly Shear ready to go to work against Mike Griffin, right-handed hitter, 315 average. Second in the league, tied for second in the league with 41 hits in 32 games, and Kelly's first pitch is down and away for ball one to Mike Griffin. He had 2 of the Dayton 5 hits last night. Or check that. Mike Griffin now grounds one foul past third. Foul, strike one. Mike Griffin, yes, was 2 for 4 last night. And he was also 2 for 4 in the opener. So we've had a tough time retiring Mike Griffin. 1 ball, 1 strike to the right-handed hitter out of Baylor University. He swings and misses at a fastball high and outside. Kelly Shear ahead of Mike Griffin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Griffin, no homers. A league-high 13 doubles and 13 runs driven in. 4 for 8 in the series. Kelly's next pitch is lifted to right. Jordan Renz, right in his tracks, puts it away. Mike Griffin flies to right, 1 away here in the Dayton first inning. 1-0 Kernels, the batter Paul Janish. Janish singled in the first inning, advanced to second on a wild pitch, and was stranded there as Nick Adenhart went 3-0 on B.J. Szymanski, the cleanup batter. Szymanski then roped one that looked like it was headed into left center field, but Heinle Stacia made an acrobatic leaping catch to take a run away from the Dragons. Janish is 4 for 7 in the series, and ball one is just inside from the fast-working Kelly Shear. Ground ball to first, backhanded by Trumbo. Mark waves off Kelly Shear and beats Janish to the base. Paul Janish slapped it hard to the right side, and Mark Trumbo is playing very well at first base. He backhanded that hard-hit smash and made the play unassisted. 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's Jay Bruce, the designated hitter. Boy, Kelly Shear works quickly. Kernels wearing their all navy blue caps tonight with the Kernel logo displayed proudly on the bill. Ball 1 low to Jay Bruce. Bruce stocked a pair of home runs in the Dayton win Monday night. He was quiet last night, 0 for 4, a .298 hitter. And there's ball 2 inside. Jay has socked 7 home runs, 23 RBIs. That's tied for third in the league. The plate umpire darts out in front of the dish and wipes it off. A Dallas Morris home run in the top of this first inning has given the Kernels an early 1-0 lead. Jay Bruce on a 2-0. Cranks it foul on the ground, past first, strike one. Jay is tied for the league lead with 20 extra base hits. He has 7 home runs, 11 doubles, and 2 triples. Big, husky, 19-year-old left-handed batter, wide stance, and ball 3 is in the dirt to Jay Bruce. Jay was Cincinnati's first-round pick last year out of Beaumont, Texas. Uses a black lacquer bat. Kelly Shear's 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4. So Jay Bruce draws a 2-out walk. He's the tying run at first here in the bottom of the first inning. Kelly Shear in 30 2/3 innings has struck out 23, walked 17, and a 4.40 ERA. 1 on, 2 out for switch-hitting B.J. Szymanski. This is the first time we've seen B.J. bat right-handed. As I said, he was robbed of a run-scoring hit in the first inning last night, up facing Nick Adenhart on a 3-0 pitch. A spectacular leaping catch at short by Heinle Stacia in the first inning took a hit away from B.J. Szymanski. B.J. uses a wide ash bat, straightaway stance. Ball 1 in the dirt, a changeup. Kelly Shear paused a bit at the mound on his landing site where he strides towards home plate. Now Kelly takes a trip on the backside of the slope, rubs up the baseball. Shear wears his Kernel red socks up high. So does Heinley Station and Warner Madrigal. Everybody else in the field for the Kernels wearing their pants down low. A curve, and that one is sliced foul into the first base stands. 1-1 to B.J. Szymanski, who takes a walk all the way out to the perimeter of the dirt batting circle. B.J. is hitting just .227, but he has belted 8 home runs, the second highest total in the league, and this big fellow, the cleanup man, has 8 steals and 12 tries. He can run. He's from Princeton. Swing and a miss as Kelly challenged him with a fastball upstairs. Just past 8 o'clock here in the birthplace of aviation, Fifth Third Field. Just past 7 in eastern Iowa. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on 1450 KMRY, Cedar Rapids. A throw to first, and the runner back safely, the runner being Jay Bruce. We'll have a chance again. It's a road broadcast, so a chance for you to earn a prize from Bruce Moore during the 5th inning, our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. The 1-2 to Szymanski, instead a throw to first and no tag by Mark Trumbo. Kelly Shear needs to work on his pickoff move. In fact, he's approached Kernan Ronan, the dynamic and very knowledgeable Kernel pitching coach, about trying to quicken and better his pickoff move. Szymanski grounds one fair past third into the Dayton bullpen, and it's misplayed by Madrigal. That'll allow Bruce to try to score, and the throw to the plate not made. It's a double for B.J. Szymanski, and we're tied here in the first inning, 1-1. A ground ball past third, and it's an RBI double for B.J. Szymanski. Warner Madrigal misplayed it. It hit an angle that juts out from the left field Dayton bullpen. Warner, you can't be too hard on him. He expected that ball to make it into the left field corner. Instead, it hit that angled wall in the Dayton bullpen, ricocheted towards center field, and Madrigal had a long way to come in to retrieve it. Such a long way that Jay Bruce motored home all the way from first base on the B.J. Szymanski double on the ground past third. So the Dragons have tied it on a 2-out walk and a 2-out double on a 2-strike pitch. Here's Eric Iman. Szymanski, with his 5th double of the year, is in scoring position. Eric Iman, a right-handed hitter, a third baseman out of Kansas State, takes low in the dirt, ball 1 from the Kernel southpaw. Well, the Angels preach about the dangers of 2-out walks, and a 2-out walk to a left-handed batter has cost Kelly Shear and the Kernels a run here in the bottom of the first inning. Szymanski's ground ball between the base and Dallas Morris for a double has tied the game. Now a change-up, low and in, ball 2 to Eric Iman. Kelly Shear, a 6'3 lefty. He's not a particularly hard thrower. He tries to fool batters, and that's good. The whole idea of pitching is to fool the batters. Ball 3 high and away, a snap throw to second, and a late tag by Marco Albano as Szymanski gets back in. Kelly Shear's fallen behind Eric Iman, 3 balls, no strikes. Iman had a hit taken away from him in the 7th last night on a terrific play to his right by second baseman Dallas Morris. Dallas is at third base tonight. Iman on a 3-0 delivery. Takes low, ball 4. And that should prompt a Mercy heart-to-heart conversation from Kernan Ronan to Kelly Shear. It sure does. Mercy Medical Center is proud to sponsor this heart-to-heart conversation between the Kernel pitching coach, Kernan Ronan, and lefty Kelly Shear. You owe it to yourself and the people who love you to find out what your risk of heart disease is with a $35 heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center. That heart-to-heart screening from Mercy is quick, easy, convenient. It could save your life. You can schedule a heart-to-heart screening from Mercy by calling Mercy at 398-6821. Kernan Ronan, in his quilted lined red jacket with gray sleeves, has had his Mercy heart-to-heart conversation with Kelly Shear. 2 on, 2 out, for Bobby Mosby here in the first inning. 1-1 our score. Bobby Mosby didn't play last night. This is Bobby's 5th year of pro ball. He's 23 years old. Ball one in the dirt, a changeup from Kelly Shear. Kelly hasn't been able to get that changeup over yet tonight. Shear got the first 2 Dragons, but the next 3 have been very patient and waited for a good pitch. Jay Bruce walked with 2 out. He scored on a B.J. Szymanski double past third. Eric Iman walked on 4 pitches. Now a swing and a miss by Bobby Mosby. Bobby's from East St. Louis. So many great athletes have come out of there, including Olympic star Jackie Joyner-Kersee. Mosby holds his back elbow up very, very high, points it skyward, and takes a cut fastball low and in, ball 2. Bobby Mosby went to Northeastern Oklahoma A&M University. 25th round pick by Cincinnati back in 2002. Bobby played in 52 games here last year, hit .245, 9 homers, 28 driven in. Kelly Shear's been out on that hill for what seems to be an eternity since he got the first 2 batters here in the first inning. He whirls and throws behind B.J. Szymanski, but Szymanski returned safely ahead of the Marco Albano tag. Now a ground ball hit hard to short. Stacia has it underhands to Albano for the force of Eric Iman. Bobby Mosby wraps into a 6-4 fielder's choice to end Dayton's first. The Dragons tie the game with 1 run on 1 hit. 2 walks, no Kernel errors, 2 stranded by the Dragons. We go to the second. Kernels 1, Dayton 1. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Hy-Vee, the most respected and recognized brand name in our entire great state. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees value the vital role professional baseball plays in our community's fabric. Our treasured tradition of affordable, wholesome entertainment that brings families, friends, work colleagues, and customers together for lifelong memories. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support the best thing going in eastern Iowa, the wonder of Kernels baseball.
1-1 our score as we go to the top of the second inning here at Fifth Third Field. It's 3:20 down the lines, and then very quickly the 8-foot-high green padded wall angles away from home plate to become 338. Down the left field line, just to the right of the 338 sign, is a section of green seats known as the Dragon's Lair. 10 rows of green seats. To the right of that, or behind that, is a 2-story high red brick concession area. And then sitting on top of that concession stand, the brick concession stand, is a 6-story high scoreboard, complete with an LED video board that thrills everyone here at Fifth Third Park. Ball 1 delivered from Travis Wood to Flint Whipke. Now Flint swings hard and misses, strike 1. Flint didn't play last night. He has a 9-game hitting streak. Whipke steps out, tightens his batting gloves. He's a right-handed hitter facing lefty Travis Wood to open up the second inning, 1-1. Flint waits on a changeup and then cues it foul off the end of his bat and rolls it toward the Kernel first base dugout. Flint, in this 9-game hitting streak, has lifted his average to .313. Swing and a tip foul as Travis Wood came high and in, trying to tie Flint up in a knot. The outfield plays Whipke straight away. 402 feet to center field here at Fifth Third Field. A 12-foot high green padded wall. Above it, a dark net. Here's a high pop-up on a changeup to shallow left. Paul Janish, the shortstop, 30 feet into shallow left on the grass, gloves it. Flint Whipke was thrown off stride, and he pops to shallow left. One away here in the Kernels' second inning. Our score is tied 1-1. Mark Trumbo hitting 193. Belted one of 3 Kernel home runs in last night's 9-0 win. It was a 3-run homer on an 0-2 pitch in the 6th inning into right field. Strike one called on a changeup to Mark. Trumbo batting with 1 out, nobody on here in the 2nd inning, and a fastball inside from the 19-year-old Travis Wood. Wood is 2-0 at 4.50 ERA. 6 feet tall, 190. A changeup, and that one is dribbled foul behind home plate. A grass slope seating berm stretches across the right center field alley above the wall, and there are several dozen people out there on the wet grass tonight. The flag is above the flag pole and the American flag beyond the grass slope seating berm in right center. A changeup taken outside by the right-handed hitting Kernel slugger Mark Trumbo. He whistles the next pitch foul up here on the club level above the first base Kernel dugout. The dugouts here are protected by a green padded railing with a net in between the rails. A curve, and that one's bounced foul between Bobby Magallanes, coaching at third, and the left field line. It's still 2-2 to Trumbo. Dallas Morris with a 2-out home run gave the Kernels a lead in the first inning. Dayton tied it, a 2-out walk, followed by an RBI double from B.J. Szymanski. Here's a fastball. Swung on and missed by Mark Trumbo. That pitch was high and outside. Mark couldn't lay off, and 2 away here in the Kernels' second inning. Let's see if Brett Martinez can get something started. Brett with a .256 average, 1 for 4 last night. His sacrifice fly capped the Kernel 3-run 9th inning. It drove home Jordan Renz, who had tripled. Fastball upstairs to Martinez, ball 1. Brett hitting .256, no homers, 11 driven in. There's a cut fastball inside, 2-0 to Martinez. Brett played in 1 game with the Kernels in 2004, played in 3 games with the Kernels last year. Hit .277 is the everyday catcher for the Pioneer League champion Orem Owls with 4 home runs and 25 RBIs. Brett, 6 feet tall, lays off a pitch high, ball 3. Martinez is 22 years old. Got his head shaved during the last homestand, and he takes a strike called on a 3-0 pitch. Brett steps out, taps his spikes. No rain falling now. Let's hope it stays that way. Swing and a miss on a fastball. It was 3-0. Now it's a full count. Here's the payoff pitch from the lefty. High, ball 4. Well, a 2-out walk hurt Kelly Shear in the Dayton first inning. Let's see if Brett Martinez's free pass with 2 out here in the Kernels' second will allow the Kernels to capitalize. Craig Tatum, the catcher, in his black shin guards and black chest protector with his catcher's mask that's much like a hockey goalie's, is back behind the plate. He rushed out to the mound to have a word with Travis Wood. Warner Madrigal hitting 8th in the Allen Motor Company lineup. Owls went away to the right, strike 1. Warner was 2 for 5 in the Kernel win last night. He swatted a 2-out home run in the 8th inning to up the Kernel lead to 6-0. It was his 3rd home run of the week. Throw to first, and Brett Martinez dives back in safely. 2 out, runner at first, second inning. We're tied 1-1. change-up from the 19-year-old is in the dirt. Ball one. Nick Adenhart was our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest. Reflecting on his 5th win of the season here last night. There's a change-up outside. Ball 2 to Madrigal. And Nick told us that he had 15 relatives here. 15 of his kinfolk were here to watch him perform so well. Here's a high smash to deep center. Szymanski back looking up. Goodbye! Over the 402 sign in center field for Warner Madrigal. He gives the Kernels a 3-1 lead. Warner Madrigal teed off on a 2-1 pitch, and he launched it over the 402 sign just to the left of the big black net that serves as the batter's eye here. Warner Madrigal has hit 4 home runs this week, and with Martinez aboard, Warner gives the Kernels a 3-1 lead here in the 2nd inning. Warner Madrigal hitting that one high and deep to center. B.J. Szymanski sprinted back, looked up, and it was well beyond his reach, out of the yard for a 2-run blast for Warner Madrigal. And the Haycap Food Reservoir is very, very excited because that's another $25 that PRC, the former Access Direct in Cedar Rapids, PRC's Community Care is proud to support the communities where their employees live and work, and they have launched a great campaign known as the Home Runs for the Hungry initiative. And Warner Madrigal's home run, his 4th this week, the 5th of this series for the Kernels, means another $25 donated by PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir. 2 Kernel home runs tonight, a total of 20 this season, and that means PRC's Community Care has now donated $500 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. The 1-0 to Marco Albano is a strike on the outside corner. 3-1 Kernels here in the top of the 2nd inning. So a 2-out walk hurt lefty Travis Wood, just like it hurt Kernel southpaw Kelly Shear. Albano, a right-handed batter, swings at a 2-1 pitch and didn't get it, a fastball. Up in the zone, and Marco's even on the count, 2-2. Marco Albano in 7 games hitting .185. Second baseman, right-handed hitter out of Boston College. Marco shoots it foul over the Kernel first base dugout. There'll be an announced crowd of over 7,000 here tonight. Jack Rader emailed me earlier today thanking me for trying to assess how many folks really do come to games here because of the phenomenal attendance figures. Marco Albano pumps another pitch high in the air, foul off to the right. I can tell you, Jack, and our listeners tonight that Fifth Third Field is probably 60% full this evening. The rain and the threat of rain has kept about 40% of the house at home. Marco Albano breaks his bat and bounces a 2-hopper to short. Paul Janish throws in time. Marco Albano, credit him, he put the ball in play, shattered his bat, and he bounces out to short. In the Kernel second, 2 runs on 1 hit. The 2-run homer by Warner Madrigal is 4th of the week. There were no Dayton errors, and the Kernels leave the bases empty. After an inning and a half here at Fifth Third Field, the Kernels lead the Dragons 3-0. You're enjoying Kernel baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Smelly cat, smelly cat.
What are you playing, Nigel?
I was just trading places with Phoebe from Friends. She's so funny. She's wicked.
Cool. You know, Sierra Mist and TBS had their Trade Places with the Funniest Faces sweepstakes, where you can really trade places with your favorite characters and win the ultimate sitcom getaway. Yeah, just go to tbs.com to enter. You can win the Friends Ross and Rachel honeymoon trip to Vegas. there's also a trip to see where the Seinfeld gang hung out in New York City, or an Everybody Loves Raymond trip to a golf resort in California.
The trade places with the funniest faces sweepstakes. Just watch Friends on TBS and enter at TBS.com. Brought to you by Sierra Mist. It's that refreshing. No purchase necessary. Internet access required. Subject to official rules at TBS.com. Open to legal residents of the continental U.S. 18 or older. Void where prohibited. Ends 5/16/06.
We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners. We make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Kelly Shear having a word with Brett Martinez, Marco Albano, and Dallas Morris before, well, I see why Mark Trumbo had to disappear into the Colonel first base dugout, perhaps to mend the stitching or webbing on the pocket of his glove. We go to the bottom of the second inning. The Kernels have homered twice here tonight off lefty Travis Wood and lead the Dragons 3-1. Kelly Shear walked a pair and allowed a run in the first inning. He'll face Craig Tatum, the number 7 hitter for Dayton, here in the second. And Kelly misses high and outside, ball 1. One of the keys to Kelly's success is trying to stay ahead of the hitters. There's ball 2, high and outside. He's kind of guiding the ball right now, and rather than just letting her rip. Tatum's batting .288, and he takes low and in a fastball, ball 3. Craig Tatum drew a 2-out walk in the second, singled with 2 outs in the 7th last night. So he reached twice. He went 1 for 2. He's from Mississippi State, and he takes a strike at the knees. I have to hesitate before I tell you what the pitch was, because that's what the home plate umpire does. There's ball 4 in the dirt, so Kelly Shear has issued his 3rd walk of the young evening, and that brings up Gerardo Cabrera, and we have a second visit to the hill by the Colonel pitching coach, Kernan Ronan. Afternoon action on the State Farm Major League Scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Brad Dunn, Dale Thompson, and Al Shetler. 3 games today in the American League. The Devil Rays shut out the Mariners at Safeco Field 1-0. The Royals completed a sweep of the Tribe as they crowned Cleveland at Kauffman Stadium this afternoon 10-8. And the Rangers bowed to the Twins 4-3 Minnesota at Ameriquest Field in Arlington. In the National League this afternoon, the Cardinals knocked off the Rockies at Busch Stadium 7-4. Our parent club, the Angels, are taking on the White Sox tonight at U.S. Cellular Field. Cabrera takes a strike call. That was a good slider from Kelly Shear. Second inning here in Dayton. The game was delayed 48 minutes due to rain and wet grounds, and it's 3-1 Kernels. A chopper to third over the head of Dallas Morris, and stopping at second, Craig Tatum. Well, don't blame Kelly Shear for that hit. It was a Baltimore chop that vaulted over the head of Dallas Morris for a single. Boy, that is a very aggravating play that I see in baseball, and there's no defense against a guy who pounds a pitch hard in front of the plate into the dirt, and it takes a Super Bowl hop over one of the corner infielders. All Dallas Morris could do was look up and say, well, I wish I was a foot taller. First and second, nobody out for Josh Holden, left-handed batter. He didn't play last night. The Colonel infield is shortened up for a bunt. Holden's not bunting, and ball 1 inside. Oops, strike 1. Have to remember that delayed call by the plate umpire. Strike 1 to Josh Holden from West Point, 25 years old. He nubs one high on the bounce to short. Stacia charges, throws in time. Oh, what a fine play by Heinle Stacia as Josh Holden hit a Baltimore chop off the plate, and Stacia had to charge it. He gloved it with a lot of the ball showing on a snow cone, and then unloaded quickly to first to get Josh Holden. Holden with essentially a swinging bunt, and the Dragons have the tying runs in scoring position for Mike Griffin here in the second inning. Colonel infield is in at the corners, back up the middle. Kelly Shear misses low, ball one. It would sure be nice if Kelly could keep the Kernels ahead, but the Dragons are threatening here to tie it. Second and third, one out, second inning, 3-1 Kernels. A base hit to left, one run is in, that's Craig Tatum. Gerardo Cabrera will test the arm of Madrigal. Warner throws all the way into the plate on the fly, holding Cabrera to third base. So the Kernels still lead, but only by a run, 3-2. Craig Tatum, the man that started the inning by drawing a walk, scores to make it 3-2 Kernels. Gerardo Cabrera stopped at third on the base hit on the 1-0 pitch from Kelly Shear into left by Mike Griffin. So neither lefty has been effective yet. 3-2 Kernels. We're in the second inning. First and third for Paul Janish. Now if you're the Kernels, you have to try to put the lid on a big inning. You really don't mind now if the Dragons tie it, although the Kernels with a double play, pop-up, or strikeout still have a chance to get out of this inning without further damage. But what you really hope for is to prevent a big inning. There's a slider for a strike called to Paul Janish. Elsewhere on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, the Diamondbacks lead the Pirates in the bottom of the fourth at PNC Park 3-2. A pitch in the dirt, and the tying run will try to score. Brett Martinez slips. The runner at first goes all the way to third. Throw to third, not in time. So Mike Griffin goes all the way from first to third on a wild pitch. Gerardo Cabrera scores from third to make it 3-3. And we've had leads of 1-0 and 3-1, but let those slip away here in the early going. They've charged Brett Martinez with an error because he slipped. You really can't charge a guy an error for slipping, but they have. He slipped on the grass, and that allowed the runner to go from... Here's a bouncer to second that gives Dayton the lead. Albano throws out Paul Janish. 4-3 Dragons here in the second inning. That RBI, the 17th of the year for Dayton. So the Colonel leads of 1-0 and 4-3 have not withstood the Dayton offense. Second inning, 4-3 Dragons, bases empty, 2 out for Jay Bruce, who walked and scored in the first inning. They've charged Brett Martinez with an error, and here's a high pop-up to third. It's a fair ball. Well, no, foul ball. The plate umpire rules a foul ball. Dallas Morris, 30 feet behind the bag at third, caught the foul pop off the bat of Jay Bruce. And again, they've allowed Mike Griffin to go from first to third on an error on charge to Brett Martinez. You can't really charge a guy an error if he slips on wet grass, but the scorekeepers, we're not here to argue with their good sense. As Dayton scores in the second inning, 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 Colonel error, a wild pitch, and the Dragons leave the bases empty. We go to the top of the third. The Dragons now lead the Kernels 4-3. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Reading stimulates a child's imagination, increases their mastery of subject matter, improves their spelling and vocabulary, and opens up new worlds of discovery. That's why Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels are teaming up to encourage elementary students throughout the community to read. Kernels players will visit 38 elementary schools this spring to talk with students about the benefits of reading. Girls and boys will then be rewarded with nifty prizes for achieving reading milestones. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels, proud to stand behind our community's youth through reading.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper, she's a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Brad Kuhn, who singled but was picked off first, leads off the third here in Dayton. Takes high, and now a fastball just low. 2-0 to the Colonel leadoff batter. 256 hitter, no homers, 8 RBIs. Dayton has erased a pair of Colonel leads here in the early going. They lead at 4-3. Kuhn squares the bunt and takes a strike. Continuing with our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Tonight, the Pirates trail at home to Arizona, top of the fifth, 3-2 Diamondbacks. Florida is playing at Dolphin Stadium, and in the top of the fourth, the Marlins lead Atlanta 2-1. There's strike two called at the knees to Brad Kuhn. The Mets look like they're going to end the Philly 9-game winning streak. New York's trouncing the Phillies 10-2 at Citizens Bank Park. They're only in the fourth inning. Ball 3 low to Brad Kuhn. A full count to the Colonel left-handed hitting leadoff man. Again, the Mets are stomping the Phillies 10-2 in the bottom of the fourth at Citizens Bank Ballpark. At Great America Ballpark, 55 minutes south of here in Dayton, the Reds lead Washington in the bottom of the fourth, 5-3. Later tonight, the Brewers and Padres in San Diego. The Dodgers entertain the Astros, and the Cubs look to snap a long losing streak as they play the Giants at SBC Park. Here's the payoff to Kuhn, and he lifts it in the air to straightaway center. B.J. Szymanski a few steps back and reaches up to nab it. Brad Kuhn has flied to center, one away here in the Colonel third inning. 4-3 Dragons. Colonels led 1-0. Dayton tied it in the first. Colonel scored 2 in the second to lead 3-1. Dayton scored 3 in the second. They lead 4-3. In the American League, bottom of the fourth inning at Yankee Stadium, the Red Sox 3, New York 3. The Tigers lead the Orioles at Camden Yards 2-1 in the bottom of the sixth inning. A wild one in Toronto as Heinley Stacia cracks an extra base hit down the left field line, and digging it out of the corner is Josh Holden. His throw to second, not in time, a two-hopper. It's a stand-up double for Heinley Stacia. Heinley Stacia adds to his .288 average. He flew to center in the first, doubles over the third baseman's head down the left field line here in the third. That's Heinley's 10th double of the year, and it's his 6th hit in 10 at-bats in this series. Heinley Stacia, the tying run at second, with one out here in the top of the third inning. A wild one at Toronto's Rogers Center. They're in the bottom of the fourth. The A's 7, the Blue Jays 7. No score. The Angels, our parent club, and the White Sox. Here's a high drive into the right field corner by Dallas Morris, and it's foul by about 8 feet. Home run distance, but foul as it tailed away from Gerardo Cabrera, the right fielder. Strike one on Dallas Morris, who homered in the first inning. No score in the second. The Angels and White Sox at U.S. Cellular Field. And that's the complete look, including the finals from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard here from Dayton. It's sponsored by State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Gary Shubat, Dale Thompson, and Al Shetler. A high pop foul may be playable near the Colonel dugout. Bobby Mosby looks up, and it's a few rows up into the burgundy-colored box seats here at Fifth Third Field, rather. 0-2 to Morris. 4-3 Dragons. We're only in the top of the third inning. Heinley Stacia, the tying run at second, with one away here in the Colonel third. The lefty whirls and fires into the second baseman, Mike Griffin, but Heinley Stacia was able to get back. Now Dallas watches a fastball sail outside. That pitch was wasted by Travis Wood. Wood, in 28 innings, has surrendered 24 hits in 6 starts. Fanned 32 batters in 28 innings, walked 14. The league hitting .224 against Travis Wood. Dallas Morris grounds one to short. The only play for Janish is to throw out Dallas as Heinle Stacia advances to third. Good base running by Heinle Stacia. That ball was corked right underneath his feet, and he immediately broke towards third. He's there with 2 out, and that's important because Kelly Shear wild pitched the tying run home in this game in the bottom of the second. Perhaps Travis Wood will uncork a wild pitch. He has 5 wild pitches this season. Kelly Shear, 8 wild pitches. A changeup is in for a strike called to Jordan Renz, who struck out to end the Kernel first inning. Renz trying to drive home the tying run. Stacia from third. Backs away from a fastball that just low and in. Jordan Renz, 3 for 4 last night with a home run and triple, 2 for 4 in the series opener with a 2-run homer. He golfs the 1-1 pitch foul outside behind Bobby Magiana. Jordan Renz in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4-3 Dragons, top of the third inning. Dayton is 16-16. The Kernels are 16-16. Change-up, swing and a miss. Jordan Renz fans for the second time, and the Kernels unable to chase Stacia home from second after his 1-out double here in the third inning. No runs for the Kernels in the third. 1 hit. There were no Dragonaires. Kernels leave a man stranded, our first of the evening. And as we go to the bottom of the third inning, Dayton leads the Kernels 4-3. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's show? Patio.
It's time for Clement's Great Grill Challenge. If someone asks you, what's cooking, Daddy-O, tell them Clement's is always lean and juicy. The other guys have more fat, more flare-ups, and shrinking taste. Avoid unnecessary flare-ups. Never substitute fat for flavor. Always grill Clement's.
King of the grill, man. Grill house. Who's your patio?
That calm, relaxing music means that Peck's Flower and Garden Shop has an important message to share with you. In this case, Mother's Day is coming up. It's this Sunday. It's fast approaching, and Peck's Flower and Garden Shop is the place that you can deliver your Mother's Day gift of flowers or plants anywhere. Choose from one of Peck's many thoughtful, fresh flower bouquets or growing plant arrangements. Peck's is your professional FTD and Teleflora florist. They can deliver your Mother's Day gift now. Your mom will be delighted when she receives flowers or plants from Peck's. Order early now while you're thinking about it. It's easy. Just call Peck's 393-5565 or stop in. They're at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast. Peck's Flower and Garden Center. They've been delivering Mother's Day smiles for 50 years. Here we go to the bottom of the third inning. 4-3 in favor of the Dragons. Szymanski doubled past third, and he leads off here in the bottom of the third inning. Kelly Shear delivers a ski right called on the outside corner. Now a check swing by Szymanski. It's a half swing. He went around. Yes, he did, according to the base umpire, and that's strike 2. The 0-2 from Shear is a change-up low to BJ. Dayton with a .264 average against right-handed pitching this year, but they're feasting on left-handed pitching. The Dragons hitting .294 against lefties. Ball 2 low and away to the switch hitter, Szymanski. Spells his last name S-Z-Y-M-A-N-S-K-I. Kelly paws at the little cleat strip behind the mound and knocks some mud out of his spikes and brings the 2-2 delivery homeward. Swing and a miss. Kelly Shear gets B.J. Szymanski to reach for a changeup low and away. One away here in the bottom of the third inning. Eric Hyman, right-handed hitting third baseman, walked in the first inning. Eric's a .286 hitter with a couple of home runs, 13 RBIs. From Kansas State. Eric lives in Omaha. You wonder how Creighton let him get away. 19th round pick of the Reds last year. Takes low for ball one, and now the next delivery's downstairs for ball two. As Hyman takes a strike. Kelly working quickly, a bouncer to third, charged by Dallas Morris, and he's got the short hop that he needed to get. It's still a tough hop, but whenever you charge a ground ball, you're usually going to have good things happen. When you lay back and wait for the ball to bounce to you, that's called letting the ball play you. Dallas didn't do that. He charged that chopper and gloved it right above his ankle tops and threw out Hyman. 2 away here in the Dragons' third inning for Bobby Mosby. Ball one outside. Dayton overtook the Kernels 1-0 and 3-1 leads. They're ahead here in the third, 4-3. Swing and a miss by big Bobby Mosby. Big guy, 290 pounds. Ball too low from Kelly Shear. Kelly works very, very quickly when nobody's on base. When runners reach, he slows it down quite a bit. A full windup and a changeup. Just outside, ball 3 to Bobby Mosby. I don't know how he took that pitch. Perhaps he was fooled. Bobby's almost busting out of his white home pants. He slaps one to third on 2 hops. The long throw by Dallas Morris gets Bobby Mosby. It's a 1-2-3 inning for lefty Kelly Shear. We're already headed to the 4th inning here at Fifth Third Field, and it's the Dragons 4, the Kernels 3. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
The summer heat can be so oppressive unless you can keep your cool. Who do you call when your cooling system fails? Call on the A-Team at Ahern Plumbing and Heating. The A-Team can inspect and ensure that your cooling system is good to go when you need it most. 24 hours a day, rely on the A-Team from Ahern Plumbing and Heating. Call 393-4872. 393-4872 for Ahern Plumbing and Heating.
Advanced Systems, the leader in office technology, is like a great baseball coach when it comes to office productivity. Advanced Systems makes the most of your team. They do it with the latest technology for office productivity from Canon. They're also like a great trainer. Advanced Systems Advanced Life Support makes sure your office equipment runs at peak levels and fixes it fast if things go wrong. Hit it over the fence with Canon technology from Advanced Systems. Call 832-8291.
This is for the 21st century with Advanced Systems. When it's important to you, coffee works, let your work shine through. Quality coffee, with the left. Don't settle for second best. Coffee works, computer center, coffee works. We do it better when you think of coffee. Think of coffee works. Coffee works, coffee works.
Kernels batting the top of the 4th inning. Trailing 4-3. We're back at home for an 8-game homestand. We talked about it during the delay leading up to this third game. Set all the excitement up for you starting Tuesday, the 16th of May, a 6:30 start. It's a triple play Tuesday. That means you can enjoy any sandwich in the ballpark, not just a hamburger or cheeseburger, any sandwich. at the ballpark, and chips and a drink for just $5. That's a triple play Tuesday, a week from last night, Tuesday, May 16th. Here's Flint Whipkey to lead it off for the Kernels in the fourth inning. And he pops it up into shallow left. Coming on is Josh Holden. He's there. And Holden makes the grab. Flint Whipkey, first pitch swinging, is flown out to shallow left. One out here in the fourth inning, 4-3 Dragons. Wednesday is a Fairfax State Savings Bank Money Wednesday. And that means the first 750 of you Colonel fans, regardless of age or gender, will receive an envelope from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Inside, cold cash, up to $100. A Fairfax State Savings Bank Money Wednesday is a week from tonight, Wednesday, May 17th at home against Quad City. A changeup is just inside to Mark Trumbo, ball one. Trumbo struck out in the first. One away, top of the fourth inning. Dayton ahead by a run, 4-3. Here's a swing and a foul right over our head, and down below it goes. 1-1 to Mark Trumbo. Kernels have out hit the Dragons 4-3, but trail the game 4-3. 1-1 to Mark. Outside a fastball from Travis Wood. Thursday is a Bucket Cup Thursday, a week from tomorrow, the 18th. That means 12-ounce draft beer, 12-ounce sodas, and slushies are only $1. Ball three low. Bottled water and bottled soda only $2 on Bucket Cup Thursdays. The next one, a week from tomorrow, May 18th, a 6:30 start at home. Trumbo rips one to third, caught by Eric Iman. Mark Trumbo hitting in tough luck as he really hit a scalding bullet to third, and that's why they call it the hot corner. It was caught for the second out here in the fourth inning. Gone. Brett Martinez swings and tips a pitch foul into the glove of the catcher, strike one. The Kernels have 2 home runs tonight, one by Morris in the first inning, a 2-run blast by Madrigal in the second. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and Travis Wood is trying to retire the Kernels in order for the first time tonight. Let's see if Brett can crawl out of this 0-2 hole. Ball one is high to Martinez. Brett has to skip out of the way of a pitch inside. The crowd oohed and ahed at that because Martinez waited until the last moment, but he got out of the way, and it's 2-2. Bases empty, 2 gone here in the Colonel fourth. A changeup and a swing and a miss. So it is a 1-2-3 inning for lefty Travis Wood as he got Brett Martinez on strike swinging, the 4th strikeout for the 19-year-old Dayton lefty. Down in order go the Kernels for the first time tonight. And after 3.5 on this overcast Wednesday night in Dayton, the Kernels down by a run to the Dragons, 4-3. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank Free Money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds. Gotcha. Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, yep, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Kelly Shear has now set down 5 straight Dragons. He's ready to go in the bottom of the 4th inning. 4-3 Dayton. Lower third of the Dragon order, Craig Tatum got the 3-run Dragon 2nd inning started when he drew a leadoff walk. 2 of the Dragon 4 runs have been a direct result of base on balls. Craig Tatum, right-handed hitter, wears his black socks up high. Colonel outfield plays him straight away. Craig hit 188 last year in 37 games for the Dragons, and Kelly Shear's first pitch is a fastball just outside, ball 1. Tatum's a hefty guy, a catcher, 6 feet 230. Fastball, that's low, ball 2. Craig Tatum, a 3rd-round pick of the Reds in 2004. Takes a strike at the knees. Two balls, 1 strike. Tatum, a straightaway stance. Grounds one past the mound at second. Marco Albano has it and throws in time. That's 6 in a row set down by Kelly Shear. He fell behind Craig Tatum. 2-0, but came back to get him. We'll have a chance for you in the 5th inning, which is just around the corner, to earn a reward from Bruce Moore. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question is fast approaching as Gerardo Cabrera, who singled a chopper over the head of Dallas Morris in that 3-run Dayton 2nd inning, takes high. The next delivery is high and outside, ball 2. That's been Kelly Shear's pattern so far tonight, is that he's fallen behind and then had to pitch from behind. A bouncer to third on 1 hop. Dallas Morris has been busy. He throws in time and gets Gerardo Cabrera on the 1-hop bouncer. That's 3 assists for Dallas Morris at third base already. And 7 in a row retired by Kelly Shear. Left-handed hitting Josh Holden takes low for ball 1. Kelly works quickly and misses inside for ball 2. Holden advanced runners into scoring position when he bounced out to shallow short his first time up. The 2-0 from Shear is lifted in the air to left. Underneath it, Warner Madrigal, he has it to retire the side. That's 8 in a row retired by Kelly Shear. Kelly Shear has now set down 8 straight Dragons. Josh Holden flies to left, and another quick 1-2-3 inning for the Colonel Southpaw. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question comes your way in just a moment as we head to the top of the 5th here in Dayton. The Dragons 4 and the Kernels 3. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan Smith, take Giuseppe Florentina? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste delivery.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's, for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I got to be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
More of what you're looking for. Just yourself.
Warner Madrigal is first up for the Kernels as we move into the top of the fifth inning. Warner belted a two-run homer his last time up to give the Kernels a short-lived 3-1 lead. Ball one upstairs, and now Warner skies one into straightaway right. Gerardo Cabrera doesn't have to move a step, and he has it for the first out of the fifth inning. 6 straight set down by lefty Travis Wood. Colonel lefty Kelly Shear has retired 8 in a row, so both lefties have settled down. Log on now for your chance to earn 2 tickets to Bluesmore and a Bruce Moore souvenir book by answering our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. If you've won already this spring, congratulations. Please don't email us here in Dayton. You'll find the answer to our Bruce Moore Bonanza question on Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org. That's Bruce Moore, BRUCEMORE.org. And you'll email the answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza question to me here in Dayton at John, JOHN, at Kernels, KERNELS.com. Marco Albano tried to bunt his way on and bunted foul to the screen. Now he whistles a pitch foul to the backstop. 0-2 to Marco. 1 gone, top of the fifth inning. Fast-moving game in Dayton despite the score. 4-3 Dragons. A right-hander is up throwing for Dayton in their left field bullpen. The 0-2 to the Colonel number 9 batter. High, a fastball. Here's our Bruce Moore Bonanza question tonight. What is the name of the guest house on the estate that Margaret and Howard Hall moved into after they were married? We'll give it to you after this 1-2 pitch again. Swing and a miss by Marco Albano on a good changeup, and that's 5 strikeouts for Travis Wood, and he's now retired 7 straight Kernels. 2 away here in the fifth inning. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question: what is the name of the guest house on the estate that Margaret and Howard Hall moved into after they were married? The reward, if you email me with the correct answer, 2 tickets to Bluesmore and a Bruce Moore souvenir book. Your email should include your name and address. Please include the answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza question, your name and your mailing address. Brad Kuhn stands in and looks at a strike. Now a pitch low to Brad. Kuhn's 1 for 2 tonight. 4-3 Dragons, top of the fifth, and Brad fouls one high up into the screen, strike 2. Wayne Lundgren, a former St. Louis Cardinal farmhand who pitched for the Swing of the Quad Cities last year, hurled in the series opener here Monday night. He's warming up for Dayton in their left field bullpen, a 6-foot 8-inch right-hander. Breaking pitch from Travis Wood low, and it's 2-2 to Kuhn. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question: what is the name of the guest house on the estate that Margaret and Howard Hall moved into after they were married? You can email your answer to me at John, JOHN, at Kernels, KERNELS. And you'll find the answer to that Bruce Moore Bonanza question on the Bruce Moore website, www.brucemore.org. Brad Kuhn lifts a pitch foul off to the left, and it's still 2-2 to Brad. 2 tickets to Bluesmore and a Bruce Moore souvenir book will go to our Bruce Moore Bonanza winner this evening. Now Brad steps out as Travis Wood readies himself. His hands are right in front of the letters on his front of his white home jersey, Dragons in green. A breaking pitch is high and inside. Full count now to Brad. Kernels had leads of 1-0 and 3-1 early tonight. Right now we're in the middle of the game, and it's 4-3 Dragons. Payoff pitch to the Kernel leadoff batter. High and in, ball 4. And that's the second walk drawn by a Kernel batter tonight. The first walk, issued to Brett Martinez, was followed by a Warner Madrigal 2-run homer. That was in the second inning. Wayne Lundgren continues to warm up in the Dragon bullpen. Here in the top of the fifth, Kuhn reaches to snap a string of 7 in a row that had been retired by Wood. Now Brad draws the throw. He's back safely. Your emails are welcome here in Dayton at john@kernels.com, JOHN@KERNELS.com, answering our Bruce Moore Bonanza. Another throw to first, and Kuhn is back standing up. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question: what is the name of the guest house on the estate that Margaret and Howard Hall moved into after they were married? Strike one called on the outside corner to Heinle Stacia. Stacia doubled his last time up. That came with 1 out in the third. But Travis Wood got the next 2 Kernel hitters, Dallas Morris and Jordan Renz. Kuhn's not running. And a high fly ball into straightaway center for B.J. Szymanski. B.J.'s there and has it for his third putout of the evening. No runs in the fifth for the Kernels, a 2-out walk. There were no Dayton errors. The Kernels strand a runner and have left 2. And after 5.5 now, fast-moving ball game, Dayton still leads the Kernels 4-3. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
With spring comes a sound we're all familiar with: lawnmower. The Solid Waste and Recycling Department encourages you to mulch your grass this year, though instead of bag. It's a practice known as grass cycling. Why grass cycling? Well, it saves time because you don't have to rake or bag your grass clippings. But it also saves money because those clippings contain essential nutrients, reducing your need for expensive fertilizers. Best of all, grass cycling helps to save landfill space. Do your part. Grass cycle. This message from the Solid Waste and Recycling Department.
Tex Flower and Garden Shop reminds you that Mother's Day is just around the corner, and they've been delivering Mother's Day smiles from Pex since 1956. Pex is open until 8 o'clock weeknights, 5 o'clock on weekends, and your mom will be delighted when she receives flowers or plants from Pex. Order early while you're thinking about it. It's very easy. You can call Pex at 393-5565, 393-5565, or stop in, or you can visit Peck's website to order your Mother's Day flowers or plants for this Sunday. The Peck's website address, www.pecksflorist.com. Peck's Flower and Garden Shop. They can deliver your Mother's Day gift of flowers or plants anywhere this Sunday. But think early. Think now. The Bruce Moore website is www.brucemore.org. BRUCEMOR.org. That's where you can go to find the answer to this evening's Bruce Moore Bonanza. 2 tickets to Blues More and a Bruce Moore souvenir book going to our Bruce Moore Bonanza winner. Ball 1 high to Mike Griffin. Now a high pop foul, and near the bag at first, now drifting back in towards fair ground. Mark Trumbo has it. It's a foul ball and 1 out as Mike Griffin is the 9th in a row retired by Kelly Shear. Mike Griffin is fouled out near the bag at first to Mark Trumbo. 9 straight retired by Kelly Shear. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question: what is the name of the guest? Here's a little looper into right field. First pitch swinging. Paul Janish adds to his league-high 404 average. He just took Kelly Shear's changeup and blooped it into right for a 1-out single. So that snaps the string of 9 in a row that Kelly had set down and leave it to the league's leading hitter to put an end to Kelly's good streak. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question: What is the name of the guest house on the estate that Margaret and Howard Hall moved into after they were married? What is the name of the guest house on the estate that Margaret and Howard Hall moved into after they were married? That's our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. And you can email me right here in Dayton with your response, along with your name, address, and the answer. Email John, John, at Kernels, KERNELS.com. A curve is a beauty. Strike one to Jay Bruce. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Now Bruce swings late and slices a pitch in the air foul down the left field line. 4-3 Dragons, and we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. All the scoring was in the first 2 innings in this game so far. 1 for each club in the first, 2 in the second by the Kernels, 3 in the second for Dayton. Here's a swing and a miss, the pitch in the dirt, and strike 3 on Jay Bruce. Down to second on a wild pitch goes Paul Janish. Paul Janish advances into scoring position as Jay Bruce struck out on a pitch in the dirt, and that strikeout is the second of the evening for Kelly Shear. We haven't received your emails yet with your answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza, but if we do, we'll let you know, and if not, hey, we'll give you that same question tomorrow evening and see if somebody can solve it by logging on to that Bruce Moore website. Some nights the Bruce Moore Bonanza question is easier to find than others when you log on to the Bruce Moore website. This one's a fascinating one. Swing and a miss by B.J. Szymanski. Now another swing and a miss on a fastball. What is the name of the guest house on the estate that Margaret and Howard Hall moved into after they were married? And your reward, 2 tickets to Bluesmore and a Bruce Moore souvenir book. The 0-2 to Szymanski. Grounded to the right side, Marco Albano with a good play to his left. Throws from shallow right field on the grass and gets B.J. Szymanski to end the Dayton threat here in the 5th inning. No runs in the 5th for Dayton. 1 hit, a wild pitch. There were no Colonel errors. The Dragons leave a runner aboard. They've left 3. And after 5, the Kernels and Dayton embroiled in a tight battle with this series even at a game apiece. After 5, the Dragons lead the Kernels 4-3. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Sylvia, you know that cruise you've always wanted?
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
That would be our house, Bob. Are you feeling all right, dear?
Well, this is so cool. Guarantee Bank will let us use the equity in our home to do just about anything we want. College tuition, a room addition, a cruise, and best of all, the interest may be tax deductible. Now do you see it? Oh, the sun, the waves, the tropical breezes.
Ooh, now I see it. It's a convertible. The sun on my face, the wind in my hair.
See your Guarantee Banker in Cedar Rapids, Marion, or Hiawatha, and use the equity in your home to do whatever you want, even if it's just to get out of the house.
The feel of the road, the roar of the engine.
The roar of the...
Hey, it's my kind of life. Keep your hands off my Porsche, Bobby boy.
Guarantee Bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Consult your tax advisor for interest deductibility. Some restrictions apply.
If you're looking to enhance your property's appearance, function, or value, make the experts at King's Materials your most reliable teammate. Retaining walls? You bet. Custom patios? Bingo. Walkways and steps? King's Material says yes. King's Material has all the bricks, concrete, and some elements to make your landscaping, masonry, and architectural projects become a reality. To view the astonishing array of beautiful and innovative products King's Material can bring to your home, yard, or business, visit King's online at kingsmaterial.com.
The Kernels will face a new hurler who they saw in Monday night's series opener as we begin the 6th inning here at Fifth Third Field. 4-3 in favor of the Dragons. 6'7" 24-year-old right-hander Wayne Lundgren is now pitching. Lundgren may be a familiar name to you. He pitched for the Swing of the Quad Cities last season in 10 relief appearances, a 1-0 record. Pitched 25 games in relief for Palm Beach in the Florida State League. So Wayne Lundgren, an Australian, 1-1 on the year, on for the 11th time out of the Dayton bullpen, works from the stretch. His first pitch to Dallas Morris is a fastball. Morris went around on that half swing, strike one. Wayne Lundgren. He pitched 2 scoreless innings, allowed a pair of hits in the Dragon 10-4 win here Monday night. Top of the 6th inning, 4-3 Dayton. Dallas Morris swings and misses at a pitch down and away, strike 2. Wayne Lundgren, Lundgren from Australia. They list him at 6'7". He looks more like 6'10". He is tall. He towers over Dallas Morris, who's 5'10". The final line on the starter, Travis Wood, he went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs, all earned. Curve outside, ball 1 to Dallas Morris. Travis Wood, the Dayton starter, 5 innings pitched. He gave up 3 runs, all earned on 4 hits. Struck out 5 and walked a pair. He can win, he cannot lose. A chopper to short, backhanded by Paul Janish, and he throws the batter out. Dallas Morris is grounded to short, 1 away here in the Kernels' 6th inning. Well, we don't have a winner tonight in our Bruce Moore Bonanza, but we'll try the question again tomorrow evening, and if it stumps you then we'll lighten up and make it a little bit easier for you to find the answer on the Bruce Moore Bonanza Challenge tomorrow. No winner this evening, which is just fine because it means that we'll have some more fun tomorrow, and those 2 tickets to Bluesmore will remain as the prize, along with a souvenir book from Bruce Moore. Jordan Rentz takes a strike, and now a pitch right in on Jordan's belt buckle. He leans back, ball 1. Kernels looking to score for the first time since Warner Madrigal's 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning. A breaking pitch from Lundgren outside, ball 2. Jordan is glad that Travis Wood is gone. The lefty struck out Jordan twice. Here's a high fly ball into shallow center. Coming on is Szymanski, 4 putouts for the number 8 position. 4 putouts as P.J. Szymanski, the Kernels, and he have a good game of pepper going on. 4 Kernel flyouts to center field tonight. 2 gone in the 6th inning as the Dragons continue to lead it 4-3. 8,024 the announced attendance here tonight. And as I said earlier, the stadium about 60% full. Lundgren fires a strike to Flint Whipke, who's trying to reach here with 2 out in the 6th. And he does as he smashes a single into center. Flint Whipke has extended his hitting streak to 10 games. He has the first Kernel hit since Heinle Statia's 1-out double back in the 3rd inning. A 2-out single laced over the pitcher Lundgren's head into center by Flint Whipke. And it wouldn't surprise me a bit if Flint, who has 4 steals and 6 tries, is running with Mark Trumbo at the plate. Dayton ahead here in the 6th inning, 4-3. And the Kernels have 5 hits to Dayton's 4. Lundgren comes set below the chin. And he whisks the fastball by Mark Trumbo, strike 1. Wayne has pitched 15 innings this year, given up 14 hits, struck out 8 in 15 innings, walked 2. The league hitting .241 against the 6'7" right-hander Wayne Lundgren. A pitch off the catcher's mitt for a pass ball, and that sends Flint Whipke the tying run to second. A pass ball charged to Craig Tatum as he had to come out of his catching squat, reach up, and the ball just deflected out of his mitt for a pass ball. That means the Kernels have the tying run at second with 2 out here in the 6th inning. Wayne Lundgren was originally signed by the Red Sox in the year 2000 as a non-drafted free agent from Australia. The Red Sox released him in 2004, and he was signed by St. Louis, and the Cardinals let him go. A bouncer to second should end the inning. It's fumbled by Griffin, and no play. Whipke around third. High throw. Flint will try to score. Let's see if he can make it. The throw by the catcher home. Not in time. It gets by the pitcher covering. Throw to third. That runner's safe. And the Kernels have tied the game, have tied it here in the 6th inning on a wild, wild play that I think will include 2 errors by the Dragons. Flint Whipke scores from second on a ground ball by Trumbo that Gerardo Cabrera fumbled. He picked it up in shallow right, not in time to throw out Trumbo, but Flint Whipke rounded third. He drew a throw. So we have 2 errors on the second baseman, one for booting the ground ball, the other for throwing high to the plate. And then we also have an error charged on, I believe, the catcher. And now, Brett Martinez to give the Kernels the lead. Strike one on the outside corner to Brett. What a wild play that I think Dayton was charged with not 1, not 2, but 3 errors. Yes, an error on the catcher for his throw that got by the pitcher covering home. Now Lundgren paints the outside corner. Strike 2 to Brett Martinez. The Kernels have the go-ahead run at third. With 2 out. And ball 1 outside to Brett Martinez, a fastball. The second baseman mishandled the ground ball. Mike Griffin off the bat of Trumbo. Mark reached. Then the second baseman threw over the head of the catcher, Craig Tatum. Whipke scored. Now a swing and a miss on a slider by Brett Martinez. The Kernels score an unearned run with 2 outs here in the 6th inning to tie the game. Then the catcher, trying to throw Whipke out at the plate, heaved it by the pitcher covering, and that allowed the batter Trumbo to slide into third safely, but Mark was stranded at third as Brett Martinez struck out. In the 6th inning, 1 run for the Kernels on 1 hit. 3 Dayton errors, all on the same play. The Kernels left 1 and have stranded 3. What a wild, wild set of events. 3 errors committed on 1 play by the Dragons, and that allows the Kernels to tie the game. And after 5 1/2, Kernels 4, Dragons 4. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Jumpstart your future with learning from Kirkwood Community College. No matter what your age or previous work experience, you have new opportunities as close as your phone. 398-5517. Kirkwood has hundreds of choices for career and technical programs. Kirkwood has financial aid and support options to help you succeed, and Kirkwood has locally based centers to help you balance work, family, and learning. Kirkwood is ready when you're ready. Call Kirkwood Admissions today, 398-5517. Kirkwood. Start here, go anywhere.
Convenience and trust, 2 things all of us want. At Tri-State Travel, we offer both. It's convenient for you to make 1 call or 1 visit to our office for all your travel needs. A 1-day tour, a cruise, a trip to Branson, to charter a motor coach. For 66 years, Tri-State Travel has been a name you can trust to provide quality products. Come see why you can trust us to provide the convenience you expect. Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discounts, good student discounts, loss-free discounts, 45-plus auto discounts, auto home discounts, low mileage discounts. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
The Kernels score a run with some help from the Dragons to tie the game in the top of the 6th. Home half of the 6th, and Kelly Shear's first pitch is upstairs to Eric Iman, ball 1. Eric has walked and grounded to third, and he pops the pitch up towards the right field line. Marco Albano slips on the grass and can't make the catch. That's too bad. That should have been the first out of the inning, but Marco slipped on the grass, and it's going to either be a hit for Eric Iman or an error on the Kernels' second baseman. It's an error. He overran it and then slipped. Got a glove on it, but dropped it. So the Kernels are trying to give back some of the generosity that the Dragons exhibited in the top of the inning. That should have been the caught, but Marco overran it in shallow right field and then slipped on that wet grass. Well, you can't worry about physical mistakes like that. Maybe a double play will be just what the doctor ordered. Here's a fastball outside to Bobby Mosby. Ball one. Bobby Mosby, 0 for 2 so far tonight. He's hitting .274. Right-handed slugger. He's so big the bat looks like a toothpick in his hands, and he sends the 1-0 pitch foul up into the backstop, strike one. 4-4 the score here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Boy, we've had some strange happenings on the diamond in the Dayton sixth inning. 3 errors on 1 play, and the Kernels committed an error to open up this Dayton sixth inning on a misplay on a pop fly by Marco Albano. Ball 2, low and away to the right-handed hitter Bobby Mosby. Kelly brings it, and it's cracked foul on the ground beyond the third base Dayton dugout. Nothing doing in the Kernel bullpen. The Kernel pitching staff is ranked third best in the Midwest League with a 3.08 ERA. Eric Iman leads the way at first. He draws a throw high, but snared above his head by Mark Trumbo. We had an interesting chat with Dayton Daily News sports writer Mark Katz before this game during the delay while the grounds crew got the field ready. Here's a change-up low, and it's a full count now to Bobby Mosby. And I don't know if, I'm sure some of you weren't listening or weren't tuned in, rather, when Mark Katz was with us an hour and a half ago. There goes the runner, a throw to first. Trumbo's throw high to second. It's a stolen base. Mark Trumbo let loose with a high throw. So it's a stolen base for Eric Iman. Well, there's 2 Kernel mistakes in the field that will likely come back to haunt us here in the sixth inning. Kelly Shear had the runner picked off. Mark Trumbo's throw to second over Marco Albano's head to Heinley Stacia, who was about 10 feet behind the bag, backing up the play. So that runner at second should have been out not once, but twice. But he's at second, and that's exactly why the fellas are playing at this level, is that this is the level where you learn. Swing and a miss by Bobby Mosby. 1 out here in the sixth inning. Kelly Shear whipped the fastball right by Bobby for his 3rd strikeout of the game. Craig Tatum, the catcher, is now up. He's walked and scored and grounded out to second. Big strikeout on a 3-2 pitch from Kelly Shear. He got Bobby Mosby for the first out. Here's a pitch in the dirt blocked by Martinez to prevent the go-ahead run from going to third. Mark Katz, before the game started, the Dayton Daily News sports writer, he and I talked about the subject of our fun fact this evening. Part football, part baseball. We visited Triangle Park here in Dayton this morning. Mark Katz and I did, to relive and see the place where the first National Football League game was played. Ball 2 outside to Craig Tatum. Triangle Park in Dayton has a historical marker put up by the state of Ohio showing the site of the first game in the NFL. There's a wild pitch off the shin guard of Brett Martinez. Very sloppy play by the Kernels here in the sixth inning. That wild pitch allows Eric Iman to go to third, and it's 3-0 to Craig Tatum. An error, then a misplay on a pickoff, and then a wild pitch. And the Dragons have the go-ahead run at third with only 1 out. 3-0 on Craig Tatum. The American Professional Football Association held the first game ever in professional football on October 3rd, 1920, right here in Dayton, Ohio. The American Professional Football Association was to become the NFL. Here's ball 4 to Craig Tatum, an intentional ball 4. Tatum walks. It's 1st and 3rd, 1 out. And let's see if Kernan Ronan. Yes, Kernan Ronan, the Colonel pitching coach, will trot out to the mound to try to help Kelly Shear out. Mind you, Kelly Shear should be working. Well, he should not have a runner at third. An error by the Colonel second baseman, a botched pickoff play, and then a wild pitch. 2 on, 1 out for Geraldo Cabrera. Tim Madison is warming up in the Colonel bullpen. Tim Madison. On October 3rd, 1920, the Dayton Triangles at Triangle Park here in Dayton shut out the Columbus Panhandles in the first game in the NFL, 14-0. Well, the site where that football field was is also, well, it's a baseball field now. And Mike Schmidt, the Hall of Famer, played his last amateur game here in Dayton at Triangle Park. Steve Yeager, the former Dodger catcher, played at Triangle Park. And that's our baseball/football fun fact here from Dayton. I never knew the NFL was hatched right here in Dayton. Cabrera looks at a strike called. Kelly Shears trying to work out of a first and third, 1-out quandary here. 4-4 the score, bottom of the 6th inning. Cabrera, right-handed batter, takes low for ball 1. Couple of leather lungs down below. They're on this level, but they're a few seats to the right. You can probably hear them trying to unnerve lefty Kelly Shear, who comes set at the letters in the 1-1. Down and in for ball 2. Hyman at third, Tatum at first. 1 away, bottom of the 6th inning. Tim Madison is warming up for the Kernels in the right field bullpen. Swing and a tip foul by Cabrera, and the count even now 2-2. Well, Kelly Shear has competed very fiercely here tonight. He's given the Kernels everything he's had out there on the hill. In a 4-4 game, bottom half of the 6th inning, 1 out, Dayton runners at first and third. Here's the pitch. And a tap foul outside third, backhanded in front of Billy Gardner Jr. by Dallas Morris. Gerardo Cabrera, a .241 hitter, no home runs, 5 RBIs. Kelly Shear takes a trip on the backside of the slope. He would love a strikeout, pop-up, or double play. The Colonel infield is at double play depth for Cabrera, 22-year-old from the Dominican Republic, right-handed hitter. Ooh, a borderline pitch just inside. And yet another 3-ball count on a Dayton hitter. It's 3-2 to Gerardo Cabrera. The game's biggest pitch from the Colonel lefty. A throw to first and back safely hand first is Craig Tatum, the runner at first. Kelly Shear's gray road uniform is drenched in sweat. Kelly stands up tall on the rubber. Eric Hyman reached on an error. He's at third. Tatum's at first. A grounder to short. Throw to second. Out. Albano to first. Double play! Hindley Stacia on a 2-hop bouncer starts a 6-4-3 twin killing, and Kelly Shear has pitched out of trouble here in the 6th inning and kept the score tied. On a 3-2 pitch, Gerardo Cabrera bounced it to short. Hindley Stacia fed Marco Albano for the force of Tatum at second. Marco had enough on his peg to first to get the batter, Gerardo Cabrera, and it's an inning-ending double play. Biggest pitch of the night, and Kelly Shear comes up in a huge way, inducing Gerardo Cabrera to mash in to a 6-4-3 double play. Oh, does that give the Colonels momentum? No runs in the 6th for Dayton. No hits. 1 Colonel error, a wild pitch, a walk. Dayton leaves a runner. They've stranded 4. And after 6, In Dayton, Kernels 4, Dragons 4. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners. We make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
With runners at first and third and one out in the bottom of the sixth, Kelly Shear gets Gerardo Cabrera on a 3-2 pitch that bounced into a 6-4-3 double play. Wayne Lundgren will face Warner Madrigal here in the top of the seventh. What a gutty performance tonight by the Colonel 21-year-old lefty, Kelly Shear. Warner Madrigal didn't mean to, went around on a Wayne Lundgren pitch low and away. Strike one. Tim Madison will likely take over on the hill in the bottom of this seventh inning. Swing and a miss by Warner as he pulled that front shoulder out. Strike two. Getting back to our baseball, football fun fact, the first NFL game played here in Dayton at October 3rd, 1920. Warner rolls one to short. Paul Janish circles it and gets his man. Warner tried to pull that 0-2 pitch. He did pull it, and he pulled it weakly to the left side for a ground out to short. One gone here in the seventh for Marco Albano. The question begs, the Dayton Triangles beat the Columbus Panhandles 14-0. Mark Katz from the Dayton Daily News, who took me to Triangle Park this morning to see the site where there's a baseball field now. He said, I said, why the Columbus Panhandles? A chopper back of second. Giannis cuts it off and then can't handle it. It'll be an infield single for Marco Albano. A Baltimore chop over the hill, and Paul Janish darted to his left, got a glove on it, and then his knee kicked it out of his glove. It's an infield single for Marco Albano. Marco's first hit of the night. He's the go-ahead run at first with one away here in the top of the seventh. I asked Mark Katz why the Columbus Panhandles. Columbus is in the middle of Ohio, not in the Panhandle. And he said, John, I must have meant that in the early 1900s, panhandles must have been made in Columbus, Ohio. And Mark Katz is probably right. That's probably where the name Columbus Panhandles came from. Brad Kuhn is at the plate, leadoff batter. Facing Wayne Lundgren for the first time, Marco Albano draws the throw, and he's back head first. Kelly Shear will likely be lifted after his 6 innings of work tonight in a 4-4 game. Letter high fastball is taken high by Kuhn, ball one from Lundgren. Kelly Shear went 6 innings this evening, surrendered 4 runs on just 4 hits. He struck out 3 and walked 4 and also threw 2 wild pitches. Did not hit a batter. I'm not sure Kelly will be lifted, but my guess would be that it'll be Tim Madison in the bottom of the 7th. Lundgren's fastball is upstairs, ball 2 to Brad Kuhn. Brad singled in the first, but was picked off by Dayton's lefty, Travis Wood. Flew out to center in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. Marco Albano leads the way at first. He's the go-ahead run. He's running. Swing and a foul. That one off the thigh of catcher Craig Tatum. Marco Albano was running on that 2-0 pitch to Brad Kuhn. Our first fireworks night of the year is on the upcoming 8-game homestand Saturday, May 20th, a 5 o'clock start. Albano's running. A pitch high. The throw to second is in time, and Marco's tagged out by the shortstop, Paul Janish. Craig Tatum throws out Marco Albano as Brad Kuhn took a fastball high for ball 3. The caught stealing goes catcher to short. Marco went in head first, but Craig Tatum had a perfect pitch on which to throw, and he gunned out Marco Albano. Now a strike call to Brad Kuhn to run the count full. 2 away here in the Kernels 7th. 4-4 the score. Now Brad steps out. 8,024 here tonight. The stadium now probably about 30% full. Ball 4, a fastball upstairs. Brad Kuhn, the go-ahead run at first. Reaches for the 3rd time tonight as Wayne Lundgren walks him. Lundgren came on in the 6th inning and surrendered a 2-out hit to Flint Whiskey. Flint went to second on a pass ball. Then he scored all the way from second on 2 errors committed at second base by Mike Griffin. Griffin mishandled a ground ball by Trumbo to allow Mark to reach and Whiskey to go 3rd. Then Flint, there goes Kuhn. He stops and a strike call to Heinle Stacia, who faked a bunt. As Flint was trying to get back to 3rd, the second baseman threw high over the catcher Tatum's head. The ball went to the backstop, and Flint Whiskey scored. 2 errors on the same play charged to Mike Griffin. Lundgren delivers. High, the runner goes. The throw to second in time. Brad Kuhn is thrown out by Craig Tatum, and that ends the Kernels' 7th inning. The caught stealing goes catcher to shortstop, 2-6. So the Kernels tested Craig Tatum twice, and Tatum was measured up as he threw out Albano, trying to steal second, and he throws out Brad Kuhn, trying to steal second. No runs in the 7th for the Kernels. 1 hit, a walk. There were no Dayton errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty. 7th inning stretch at Fifth Third Field. It's wonderful to have you along tonight, Kernel fans. And after 6.5, the Kernels and Dragons are tied 4-4. Kelly Shear will remain on the hill for the Kernels. 4-4 the score as we head to the bottom of the 7th. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
The next time you catch yourself about ready to throw away a glass jar or glass bottle, stop. Glass jars and bottles are recyclable. Simply rinse out your glass, put the lids in your blue recycling box, and place the glass items in a plastic container. A plastic bucket or small plastic wastebasket will do just fine. Use one plastic container for clear glass and a second separate container for colored glass. Set your plastic container or containers with your glass in them next to your blue recycling box for curbside collection. Remember, glass is recyclable.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin. You know, Hometown Restyling has served Eastern Iowans since 1986, providing the very finest in windows, siding, and sunrooms. Their experienced staff can handle the job from start to finish, including plans, permits, and inspections. Plus, Hometown Restyling is nationally recognized by Professional Remodeler, Qualified Remodeler, and Remodeling magazines. Call Hometown Restyling for your next remodeling project, or better yet, visit one of our beautiful showrooms in Hiawatha or Coralville. Hometown Restyling, because there's no place like home.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives.
This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Well, Kelly Shear, who got a big double play to pitch around an error, a botched kickoff and a wild pitch, delivers inside to Josh Holden. Now Josh bounces one over the hill. At second base, Heinle Stacia fields it and guns out Josh Holden. Holden made a bid for an infield single as he bounced one over the head of Kelly Shear, but there was Heinle Stacia to range far to his left. Heinle took it in at second base and threw out Josh Holden. One away here in the bottom of the seventh inning. This is as deep as Kelly Shear is gone in a ball game. And he drops a curveball in at the knees. Strike one to Mike Griffin, who's 1 for 3. Mike scored in the Dayton 3-run second. They haven't scored since. We're tied 4-4 here in the bottom of the seventh as Kelly's fastball is low. Kelly Shear has gone 6 innings twice, 5 innings twice, 4 innings and 4 2/3. So he's never worked this deep into a ball game. He gets ahead of Mike Griffin as Griffin cranks the 1-1 pitch foul. Outside third, a right-hander warming up in the Dragon left field bullpen. The Kernels have Tim Madison up again in their bullpen down the right field line. Even though both Albano and Kuhn were thrown out in the seventh, the top of this inning, trying to steal, you have to put that into perspective. A, you tip your cap to the pitcher Lundgren and the catcher Tatum for not letting the Kernel runners steal. Griffin reaches out and fouls a changeup behind the plate. But Lou Brock and Maury Wills and Ricky Henderson all made a very, very enlightening statement about base stealing. One of the reasons the Kernels lead the league in stolen bases is ball 2 is outside to the leadoff man Griffin, is that they're not afraid to be caught stealing. A ground ball wrapped to short. Heinle Stacia gobbles it up and he gets Mike Griffin with a good throw to first. Mike Griffin on a 2-2 pitch grounds out to short, and Kelly Shear has retired 2 straight, the first 2 here in the seventh inning. Blake Hendley, Hendley, is the right-hander warming up in the Dragon bullpen. And the lesson from Lou Brock, Maury Wills, and Ricky Henderson is the first rule of being a good base stealer is that you can't be afraid to be thrown out, because you are going to be thrown out sometimes. That's the nature of taking the risk in trying to successfully steal a base. Swing and a foul by Paul Janish. He's 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Janish is in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. What an outstanding performance by Southpaw Kelly Shear tonight. He's worked into the bottom of the seventh, and he has the bases empty, 2 away. Janish takes a changeup in the dirt for ball 1. Guys that don't steal bases aren't necessarily, it doesn't mean they're incapable of stealing. Most of the time it means they're afraid of being caught. And hey, you're going to be caught sometimes. It's a risk-reward ratio. Ball 2 in the dirt to the shortstop, Janish, out of Rice University. Paul Janish, the league's leading hitter, Janish, right-handed batter. Grounded to first in the first, grounded to second in the second, single to right in the fifth. Paul's even 2-2, and he slaps the 2-2 pitch foul to his manager coaching at third, Billy Gardner, Jr. Billy's a lean, tall, former middle infielder drafted by the Royals back in 1987. Kelly Shears wind up and pitch. I thought the batter went around. Oh, they say he did not. And the Colonel dugout can't believe it. Paul Janish appeared to go around on a 3-2 pitch, and the plate umpire pointed to the base umpire, who said no. I think we had him struck out. Now he wraps one foul down into the Dayton left field bullpen. Man, I wish they had instant replay here. It looked like Paul Janish went around on a 2-2 pitch. But the base umpire, who's 40 feet behind first, straddling the right field line, signaled safe. Whew. Kelly with another payoff pitch. Ball 4 low. Boy, I thought we had him struck out. Janish walks, and that may be it for Kelly Shear. He had Janish struck out, in my opinion. Let's see if Bobby Magallanes allows Kelly Shear to pitch to the left-handed batter, Jay Bruce. Bruce walked and scored in the first, fouled out to first in the second, struck out in the 5th inning. Boy, oh boy, I thought Paul Janish went around on a 2-2 pitch. Sure looked like he did from here. And the Colonel dugout thought so too. Jay Bruce taps the pitch foul between the legs of Brett Martinez. Runner at first, 2 away, bottom of the 7th, Kernels 4, Dayton 4. Paul Janish has not tried to steal this season. He's being held by Trumbo. Bruce takes a pitch in the dirt, blocked by Brett Martinez to prevent the go-ahead run from advancing into scoring position. Pair of right-handers warming up. Hendley for the Dragons, Tim Madison for the Kernels. Left-handed hitting Jay Bruce on a 1-1 count. Lays off a curve low, ball 2. Nothing final tonight yet on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Paul Janish not going. Ball 3 in the dirt to Jay Bruce. Doggone it. Had that guy struck out, I thought. Now it's 3-1 to the left-handed batter. How one pitch can change the complexion of an inning or a game. B.J. Szymanski on deck with 2 out here in the Dayton 7th, 4-4 the score. Jay Bruce, a .298 hitter, takes a fastball low, ball 4. I'll be darned. He walked the left-handed batter, did Kelly. Kelly Shear has issued 6 walks, and let's see. Yes, that's going to be it. Oh, Kelly Shear pitched his heart out here tonight. I thought he had the final out of the inning moments ago on a 2-2 pitch to Paul Janish. Janish, they ruled, didn't go around. He wound up walking. So, too, did Jay Bruce. That's what really hurt. What really hurt was Jay Bruce, the left-handed batter, walking on 5 pitches. So Kelly Shear is lifted. He goes 6 2/3. 6 2/3. He's surrendered 4 runs on 4 hits. Struck out 3, walked 6, and threw 2 wild pitches. Great effort by Kelly Shear. And in this 4-4 game, B.J. Szymanski will bat left-handed against Colonel right-hander Tim Madison. This call to the Colonel bullpen is sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Tim Madison takes over. He's 1-2 out of the Colonel bullpen, on for the 11th time, a 3.29 ERA. Tim has 2 saves. Madison in 13 2/3 innings has surrendered 15 hits. Struck out 11 batters in 13 2/3. Tim has only walked 3. And the league is hitting .294 against Tim Madison. Tim is a right-hander. And he comes on with 2 men on. They both threw walks with 2 outs. And he has to face B.J. Szymanski, who wrapped an RBI double past third in the first inning. Since then, Szymanski struck out and grounded to second against the Colonel departed starter, Kelly Shear. Tim Madison, signed by the Angels as a free agent out of the University of South Florida, pitched Friday night at home, took the loss against Wisconsin. He pitched the ninth inning, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, struck out none, walked none. Tim Madison was an 8-6 loser Friday night at home against Wisconsin. Tim will face B.J. Szymanski with 2 on, 2 out here in the 7th inning. Oh, those walks will just aggravate you. But there's nothing you can really do except keep trying to get that last out of the inning, and that's what Tim Madison has been summoned in to try to do. Exactly that. Get B.J. Szymanski. Here's a line shot into center, a base hit, and Dayton takes the lead. Stopping at second is Paul Janish scores. Stopping at second, Jay Bruce. The first pitch from Tim Madison was hit off the end of the bat and dumped into center field. It looked like a line drive, but it was a cue shot off the end of the bat. And doggone it, we had Paul Janish struck out. I'll go to that bus tonight thinking that. And he walked, so did Jay Bruce, and then the first pitch to Szymanski hit off the end of the bat into shallow center, base hit, 5-4 Dayton. That's all it took, 2 walks with 2 out. It took 2 walks with 2 out. Well, those walks, we've talked before, at this level of baseball, those walks will always get you. Here's Eric Iman taking low, ball 1. So the line is complete almost on Kelly Shear. Doggone it, those 2 walks. But Tim Madison will go after Eric Iman and try to keep it a 1-run game. The 1-0. Fastball low, a throw to first by catcher Brett Martinez, not in time to get B.J. Szymanski. Tim Madison made a good pitch to Szymanski. B.J. hit it off the end of the bat and dropped it in front of Brad Kuhn in shallow center. And the man that walked, who looked like he struck out, scored. Swinging a foul straight back by Eric Iman. 2 balls, 1 strike. 5-4 Dragons, bottom of the 7th inning. It looks like Dayton will bring on a new hurler in the bottom of this, or in the top of the 8th inning, if the Kernels can get out of this 7th inning. Thought we were out of it about 10 minutes ago on a 2-2 pitch to the league's leading hitter. Now a drive into right. Jordan Wren's a few steps to his left, hauls it in. Eric Iman flies to left, hit it hard, but out. And 2 walks with 2 outs cost the Kernels a run, the go-ahead run here in the 7th inning. 1 run for Dayton on 1 hit, 2 walks. There were no Kernel errors. The Dragons leave a pair and have stranded 6. Well, the Kernels have to go back to work. After 7, it's 5-4 Dragons. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Step up to the plate this summer and nominate your favorite Cedar Rapids Kernel for the Rockwell Collins Fans Choice Award. Every time you catch a Kernel game, fill out a Fans Choice ballot to recognize the efforts of your favorite ball player. Then drop the ballot in the designated box at the souvenir stand. During the season's final homestand, Rockwell Collins will present the Fans Choice Trophy to the player with the most votes and make a donation to that player's favorite charity. Rockwell Collins and the Cedar Rapids Kernels, teammates working for a better community.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
You've worked hard, and you're finally your own boss. As a business owner, you may not want to hear the word liability, but it comes with the territory. Smart business owners protect their investments with a business owner's policy from Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha. Neighbor Insurance Services can show you how to secure the right amount of protection for your business at affordable rates. Your business is important. See Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha for business owners insurance.
We have a new pitcher for the Dragons in the 8th inning. Dayton capitalized on 2 walks in a Texas League single to take the lead. In the 7th, the final line on Kelly Shear, 6 2/3. He gave up 5 runs, 4 earned on 4 hits, struck out 3, walked 6. That's what really hurt him, as 3 of the 6 men he walked tonight scored. Wayne Lundgren has been lifted, and it's Blake Henley who's now pitching, and he delivers a strike to Heinley Station. Now a changeup, a swing and a miss. Heinley's in the hole, 0-2. Top of the 8th inning, 5-4 Dayton. Blake Henley is in his 4th year of professional baseball. 11th round pick by the Reds in 2003. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, out of Oklahoma City University. Blake Henley, the 0-2 to Heinley. High, a ball. Wayne Lundgren went 2 innings out of the Dayton bullpen and gave up 1 run unearned on 2 hits. He struck out 1 and he walked 1. Stacia fouls 1 off to the left. Heinley was at the plate when Brad Kuhn was caught trying to steal second to end the Kernels' 7th inning. Blake Henley delivers a changeup and a swing and a miss by Heinley Stacia, batting left-handed. 1 out here in the 8th inning. Oh, it's tough to see a lead slip away because of walks, but you have to credit the Dragons for having the patience to use the walk as a very, very potent weapon in the Midwest League. Heinley Stacia is gone on strikes. Here's Dallas Morris, who homered in the 1st inning, taking a Blake Henley curve just inside ball 1. Blake Henley, 1-0 this year, on for the 7th time. A 0.90 ERA, so he's been tough. Ball 2 is upstairs from Blake Henley. Blake pitched here in Dayton last year. Went 7-0 with a 2.12 ERA in 38 relief appearances. A ground ball to deep short underneath the diving effort of Paul Janish. Dallas Morris has the 7th Kernel hit of the night, his 2nd, and the Kernels have the tying run at first with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Blake Henley was 7-0 here last year with 14 saves. He pitched 51 innings as a Dragon and only gave up 31 hits. Struck out 45, walked only 12. Jordan Renz takes a curve, low and away, ball 1. 5-4 Dragons here in the top of the 8th inning. Kernels led early on, 1-0 and 3-1. Battled back to tie the game with a run in the 6th inning. A knee-buckling curve is a strike to Jordan Renz, and it evens the count to Jordan, 1-1. Jordan, 3 for 4 last night. Nothing for 3 so far tonight. Blake Henley has pitched 10 innings so far this season. Here's a double play ball to third, gobbled up by Iman. Throw to second out, throw to first, double play. A smash by Jordan Renz, right at the feet of the third baseman, Iman, who stayed down. And around the horn she went for an inning-ending 5-4-3 twin killing. In the 8th inning for the Kernels, no runs, 1 hit. There were no Dayton errors, 1 double play, the first turn by the Dragons. Nobody left. The Kernels have stranded 3 through 8 at-bats tonight. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, it's Dayton on top by a run, 5-4. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving Eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Duffy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care, featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup, are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnston Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Bottom of the eighth inning, and the Dragons send up Bobby Mosby to face Tim Madison. Tim's first pitch is down and away, ball one, a fastball. Bobby Mosby, 0-for-3 tonight. Kernels about hit the Dragons 7-5, but trail in the game 5-4. Swing and a miss. This is not Bobby Mosby. This is Joselito Hernandez. Joselito is pinch hitting for Bobby Mosby here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Hernandez, a right-handed hitter, takes ball two, low and outside. Joselito is a 25-year-old right-handed hitter, 0-for-3, hit by a pitch in the fourth inning last night by Nick Gaidenhart. And he's ahead as the pinch hitter, 2 balls, 1 strike. A tap to the left side by Dallas Morris, but in deep in the hole, Heinle Stacia pegs out the pinch hitter. What a play by Stacia, as that ball was bounced to the left of Dallas Morris, and once it got by Dallas, I thought there was no way Heinle Stacia would make a play on it. Heinle glided deep into the hole and then exhibited a rocket arm as he threw out the pinch hitter, Joselito Hernandez. Now here's a deep drive into center over the head of Brad Kuhn, and one hop off the wall by Craig Tatum. He'll stop at second with a booming double that he crushed over the head of Brad Kuhn. First pitch swinging, Craig Tatum clobbered a double over the center fielder Kuhn's head for the Dragons' 6th hit of the game. Runner in scoring position for the Dragons. 1 out here in the 8th inning. Dayton leads it 5-4. Just past 10 o'clock here in Southern Ohio. A little past 9 in the city of 5 seasons. And you're enjoying Kernel Baseball on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. Gerardo Cabrera, 1-for-3 tonight. Singleton scored back in Dayton's 3-run second inning. Takes a pitch low for ball 1. 3 walks have attributed to 5 of the Dragon runs, and they lead at 5-4. Oh, to make those guys earn their way on. They hit home runs and bash the ball all over the park. So be it. And the Kernel pitching staff, for the most part this season, has been terrific at throwing strikes. A high fly ball into center. Brad Kuhn pedals back and to his left, makes the catch, and then Brad heaves a one-hop strike into third baseman Dallas Morris, holding Craig Tatum at second. Gerardo Cabrera flies out to center. 2 away here in the Dayton 8th inning. And the batter, Josh Holden, 0-for-3 so far tonight. Holden's a left-handed batter. And he went to West Point. His teammates last year in rookie ball nicknamed him Rambo. Holden played in the Gulf Coast League in 2004. That's where he was nicknamed Rambo by his teammates. Last year, Josh played with Billings and hit .251 in 59 games. Tim Madison's first pitch is a fastball at the knees, strike one. Tim came on in relief of Kelly Shear and surrendered a single into shallow center off the bat of B.J. Szymanski, first pitch swinging, and that's the difference in the game right now. The runner at second, Janish, scored after I thought we had him struck out earlier in the inning on a 2-2 pitch. Ball one low to hold it. Now I would say about 15 to 20% of the 8,024 here tonight are still here. This game was delayed 48 minutes due to wet ground. A comebacker off the glove of Tim Madison. He'll pick it up to the left of the mound, and it'll be an error on the Kernel pitcher. Well, it should be an error. They give the batter a hit, and that's my pet peeve. Again, a comebacker that was an easy chance for Tim Madison, but they give the batter a hit, and I just don't understand that. Every official score I've ever encountered on any comebacker, no matter how hard or easy, the pitcher is never, ever expected to field his position. If you hit a ball back to the mound, it's an automatic hit. For the good of baseball, that has to be remedied because the pitcher should be able to field his position. It's a base hit for Josh Holden. On to third goes Craig Tatum. Tim Madison now leans in and has his sign from Brett Martinez, and he pitches to Mike Griffin. Instead, a throw to first, and Holden dives back safely. Josh is 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts. A right-hander up in the Kernel bullpen. Tim DeJurgens. Another throw to first, and again Holden back hand first. No, that Josh Holden comebacker, nothing against Tim Madison. There's a pitch in the dirt blocked by Martinez to save a run. Tim should have fielded it, and because he didn't, you charge him an error and you play on. You don't give the batter a base hit on a ball that should have been fielded 60 feet from the plate. Tim had it in his glove. It then trickled to the left of the mound. Died between the mound and third, and the official score said base hit. First and third, 2 out here in the 8th, 5-4 Dragons. Ground ball wrapped foul past first into the Kernel right field bullpen. 7 hits for each team. Dragons with runners at the corners here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They lead it 5-4. Tim comes set. The 1-1 is cut on and fouled into the glove of Brett Martinez. Strike 2 on Mike Griffin. .315 hitting leadoff batter. Tops in the league with 13 doubles. He singled and scored an unearned run in the Dayton 3-run second inning. Tim Madison trying to keep this a 1-run game. Comes set. The pitch. Hit hard to second. Off the glove of Albano. Marco recovers, throws. Not in time, and a run scores on an error by Marco Albano, and that gives the Dragons a lead here of 6-4 in the 8th inning. Mike Griffin hit it hard off the heel of Albano's mitt. Marco recovered in shallow right, threw to Trumbo, not in time, according to the base umpire. No RBI for Griffin, but Craig Tatum scores to give the Dragons a 6-4 lead here in the 8th inning. So if Tim Madison had been able to help himself, or had Marco Albano been able to field that ground ball, the Kernels would still be down by a run. But Dayton has taken advantage of the Kernel sloppy play in the field tonight, and that's why they're ahead 6-4. But the Kernels still within striking distance. Need to get Paul Janish, the league's leading hitter, to keep it a 6-4 game, Dragons. That was a two-hopper to Marco Albano. It hit off the heel of his mitt and then deflected into shallow right. Marco pounced on it and threw to first. It was a close play, but no argument as Mike Griffin was called safe. And a run scored from third, Craig Tatum. Ball 2 now, low and away from Tim Madison. Josh Holden went to second on the Marco Albano error, his second of the night. Here's a line drive, and Marco Albano goes down on one knee and stabs it. Paul Janish lashed one to the Colonel's second baseman, and Marco caught it. A liner to end the inning. 1 run in the 8th for the Dragons, unearned on 1 hit, 1 Colonel error, and the Dragons leave a pair. They've stranded 8. And after 8, Dayton 6, Kernels 4. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Hy-Vee, the most respected and recognized brand name in our entire great state. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees value the vital role professional baseball plays in our community's fabric. Our treasured tradition of affordable, wholesome entertainment that brings families, friends, work colleagues, and customers together for lifelong memories. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support the best thing going in eastern Iowa, the wonder of Kernels baseball.
Top of the 9th inning, the Dragons with 1 in the 8th, or 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, lead it. A ground ball to third, guarding the line was Eric Iman, and he throws in time. Flint Ripke, who singled and scored to tie the game in the 6th inning at 4. First pitch swinging is grounded out to third. Iman was guarding the line, and that made the difference as Flint Ripke, first pitch swinging, is wrapped out to third. 1 away here in the 9th inning. 6-4 Dragons. Dayton has 7 hits. They've committed 3 errors. The Kernels have 7 hits, and we've committed 3 errors. Strike 1 is in to Mark Trumbo. Blake Henley trying to earn his 6th save of the year. He gets ahead of Mark Trumbo. A sharp breaking pitch down and away. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Kernels led early in this one, 1-0 and 3-1, and couldn't hold those leads. Now a sinker is low, and it's ball 1 to Mark Trumbo. Mark clubbed a 3-run homer in the Colonel 9-0 win last night, his 4th of the year. Reached on an error his last time up. He's 0 for 3. Ball 2 is high and inside to Mark Trumbo. Well, Kelly Shear certainly deserves a better fate than what he could meet here tonight. What really hurt him, a swing and a miss by Trumbo, 2 gone here in the 9th inning. Kelly walked 6 batters. 2 of them with 2 out in the 7th inning, and that so far is the difference in the game. 2 gone quickly here in the Colonel 9th, and the batter is Brett Martinez. Brett grounds one up the middle. Paul Janish dives, has it, throws by the first baseman, a wild throw, and it'll likely be a base hit for Brett Martinez. It is. Paul Janish went far to his left to take a hit away, or to try to take a hit away from Brett. Gloved it, then threw in the dirt. 1 hopper by Bobby Mosby. Brett Martinez is on. The Kernels have their 8th hit of the night, and they bring the tying run to the plate. Warner Madrigal. Warner waiting as Larry Pearson, the Dragon pitching coach, comes out to talk it over with Blake Henley. Well, first pitch swinging. Brett Martinez grounded one sharply up the middle. It took a big hop for Paul Janish, and Paul made a great play to his left to prevent the ball from going into center field. His throw was in the dirt. Had Bobby Moses been able to dig it out, Brett Martinez would have been out. But now the Kernels have the tying run at the plate in the person of Warner Madrigal. Warner belted a 2-run homer in the second to give the Kernels a 3-1 lead. A breaking pitch, and it's ruled by the big umpire, no swing by Warner Madrigal. Blake Henley's 1-0. Up and away, ball 2. Kernels trail by a pair here in the ninth inning, 6-4. Have Martinez at first with 2 out and a 2-0 count on Warner Madrigal. Strike one called on the outside corner. Warner was taking all the way. Travis Wood pitched 5 innings, allowed 3 runs. He's the pitcher of record for Dayton. Kelly Shear, the pitcher of record for the Kernels. Strike 2 on the inside corner to Madrigal, a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out. Martinez at first. 6-4 Dragons. Swing and a miss. A curve, and Warner Madrigal fans to end the ninth inning. In the ninth inning, no runs for the Kernels. 1 hit. No Dragon errors. The Kernels leave a runner and stranded 4. Dayton takes Game 3 of this series. They now own a 2-1 lead by virtue of a 6-4 win. 6-4 Dragons. And a game that was 48 minutes late starting ends with the Kernels having the tying run at the plate and 2 outs, but Blake Henley carved up Warner Madrigal, got him swinging on a slider low and away. Totals, highlights, and more come your way next on the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ear, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper, it's a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonel, John Rogers.
And welcome back to Fifth Third Field, where the Dragons take a lead in this series of 2-1, turning back the Kernels tonight 6-4 in a game the Kernels certainly had within their grasp, but too many walks and the inability to hold an early lead meant a Dayton win here this evening. The Dragons and Kernels were delayed 48 minutes. This game started at about 12 minutes until 8 o'clock local time, 12 till 7 Eastern Iowa time, due to a rain steady rain throughout the late afternoon and early evening, but the field was in great shape, and the rain did play a factor in the game in that a couple of the Kernel fielders slipped, but it certainly wasn't the reason that the Dragons came away 6-4 victorious. The Kernels took the lead in this game in the first inning with 2 out. Dallas Morris belted his 3rd home run of the year. Carter Travis Wood, and the Kernels led 1-0. But then a 2-out walk by Kelly Shear to Jay Bruce led to trouble in the bottom of the Dayton first inning. B.J. Szymanski followed the walk to Bruce by doubling past third. Jay Bruce scored all the way through first, and it was 1-1. The Kernels with 2 out in the second inning. Brett Martinez drew a 2-out walk by Travis Wood, the Dayton starter. Warner Madrigal then followed with his 4th home run of the week. Warner socked one over the 402 sign in center with Martinez aboard, and the Kernels led it 3-1. But that lead didn't last long. Craig Tatum in the bottom of the second, yes, he threw a leadoff walk. He went to second on a base hit to left by Gerardo Cabrera. Then with 1 out, Mike Griffin singled to left. Craig Tatum scored to make it 3-2 Kernels, and Cabrera went to third on the play. Cabrera then scored on a wild pitch, and that tied the game. Mike Griffin, who went to third base on an error, scored on a ground ball out to second by Paul Janish, and the Kernel 3-1 lead didn't last long as Dayton scored 3 in the bottom of the second inning to take a 4-3 lead. The Dragons wouldn't score again, though, until the 7th inning. Meanwhile, with the Kernels trailing 4-3, in the 6th inning with 2 out, Flint Whitkey extended his hitting streak to 10 games with a single into center. Flint advanced to second on a pass ball by Dayton catcher Craig Tatum, and then he scored on a series of misplays in the field by the Dragons. Mark Trumbo grounded one to second that should have ended the inning, but it was booted by Mike Griffin. That allowed Whitkey to go to third. Trumbo reached. On the same play, Flint rounded third and darted towards home, then stopped. He drew a throw from Mike Griffin, the second baseman. Griffin's peg went over the head of the catcher, and Flint Whitkey, who was back at third, reversed directions again and dashed home on the throwing error by by Griffin. 2 errors on the same play by Mike Griffin. Trumbo ended up at third base as Whitkey scored to tie the game in the 6th inning, 4-4. But the next batter, Brett Martinez, fanned, and Trumbo was stranded at third. So we were tied 4-4 in the 7th inning with 2 out. Paul Janish on a 2-2 pitch. I'll ask Kernan Ronan and Eric Owens and Bobby Magallanes, but I thought Paul Janish went around on a 2-2 pitch. He did not. The count went 3-2. He walked with 2 outs. Jay Bruce, a left-handed batter, walked with 2 out. Kelly Shear was lifted. In came Tim Madison, and the first pitch to B.J. Szymanski was hit off the end of B.J.'s bat into shallow center field. It dropped for an RBI single. Paul Janish scored to give Dayton a 5-4 lead. The Dragons added an insurance run on 2 hits and a Kernel error in the 8th inning, and they won it 6-4. Here's the final line score. Dayton, 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. They stranded 8. The Kernels, 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. We left 4. The winning pitcher for the Dragons was their starting pitcher. Or not the starter, I'm sorry. Wood was not the winner. Wayne Lundgren was the winner. Wayne Lundgren, the winner. His record is now 2-1. The Kernel loser was Kelly Shear. He's 1-3. And a save goes to Blake Hendley. Hendley has 6 saves so far this year. The game took only 2 hours and 28 minutes after the 48-minute delay due to rain and the tarp being on the field, and 8,024 were here to see the Dragons whip the Kernels 6-4. We'll return in just a moment here on the Kernel Curtain Call and enjoy our PRC play of the game. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank Free Money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan Smith, take Giuseppe Florentina? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano, for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano, the pasta makes
Welcome back to Fifth Third Field in Dayton, where the Kernels bowed to the Dragons tonight 6-4. It's time now to enjoy our PRC play of the game. PRC donated another $50, $25 per home run to the Haycap Food Reservoir, thanks to Dallas Morris's first inning blast and a 2-run homer by Madrigal in the second. They gave the Kernels a 3-1 lead tonight. PRC's Community Care Home Runs for the Hungry campaign will help reduce hunger in our community through their $25 donation per home run to the Haycap Food Reservoir. And the total now, with 2 home runs tonight, 20 Kernel home runs, $500 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. Our PRC play of the game came in the 6th inning. Eric Iman reached on an error at second by the Kernels, stole second as the Kernels had Eric Iman picked off but mishandled the pickle. 1 out later, Craig Tatum walked. Eric Iman then advanced to third on a wild pitch. It was first and third, 1 out. The game was tied 4-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Kelly Shear had run the count full to Gerardo Cabrera. Here is our PRC play of the game. Kelly Shear's gray road uniform is drenched in sweat. Kelly stands up tall on the rubber. Eric Iman reached on an error. He's at third. Tatum's at first. A grounder to short. Throw to second. Out. Albano to first. Double play! Heinle Stacia on a 2-hop bouncer starts a 6-4 3-twin killing, and Kelly Shear has pitched out of trouble here in the 6th inning and kept the score tied. On a 3-2 pitch, Gerardo Cabrera bounced it to short. Heinle Stacia fed Marco Albano for the force of Tatum at second. Marco had enough on his peg to first to get the batter, Gerardo Cabrera, and it's an inning-ending double play. And that's why we picked Kelly Shear's gutty performance, highlighted by that inning-ending double play in the 6th inning as our PRC play of the game. PRC has a wonderful benefit package that they term Life Essentials. It includes a 401k retirement savings plan, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, and casual dress code flexible schedule. If you're looking for a job where you'll be a part of an amazing team that cares for your needs and gives you the ability to grow, visit PRC, the former Access Direct in Cedar Rapids. Visit their website, www.prcnet.com. A double play to end the Dayton threat in the 6th, induced by Kelly Shear, our PRC play of the game, in a Dayton 6-4 win over the Kernels tonight. We're back in a moment, and we'll check all the scores from this afternoon and this evening next on the State Farm Major League scoreboard here on the Kernel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and by Whirling Waters.
We are back on the Colonel Curtain Call following a Dayton 6-4 triumph over the Kernels this evening, and it's time to check the scoreboard on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agent Dale Thompson, Al Shuttler, Brad Dunn, and Gary Shubat. Afternoon action in the American League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. At the Ameriquest Field in Arlington, Texas today, Minnesota edged the Rangers 4-3. The Royals crown the Indians this afternoon 10-8 at Kauffman Stadium. And this afternoon in the Emerald City of Seattle, the Devil Rays blank the Mariners 1-0. Finals tonight on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The Yankees whipped the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium 7-3. The Tigers tamed the Orioles 6-3 at Camden Yards. That's a final. Detroit 6, Baltimore 3. And a final from Toronto. The Blue Jays bounced the Athletics 9-7. Toronto 9, Oakland 7. And good news, they're in the top of the 8th inning at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago. The Angels, who have really been playing poorly recently, lead the White Sox 6-5 in the top of the 8th inning. Now we turn to the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. At Busch Stadium this afternoon, the Cardinals knocked off the Rockies 7-4. A final from PNC Park in Pittsburgh. The Diamondbacks clubbed the Pirates 7-4. At Dolphin Stadium in Miami, it was the Marlins dismantling the Braves 11-3 tonight. Well, the Phillies had their 9-game winning streak come to a grinding halt tonight as the Mets clobbered the Phillies 13-4 at Citizens Bank Ballpark. The Reds, who are the parent club of our opponents, the Dayton Dragons, the Reds knocked off the Nationals 9-6 at Great America Ballpark tonight. In the second inning at Petco Park, Milwaukee and the Padres are scoreless. The Dodgers have posted a 3 spot in the bottom of the first, and they lead the Astros 3-0 at Chavez Ravine. And the Cubs in the bottom of the first hold a 1-0 advantage over the Giants at SBC Park. That's our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard here from Dayton, where the Dragons bested the Kernels 6-4 to take a 2-1 lead in the series. State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubath, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Brad Dunn proud to bring you that complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Tomorrow evening, the series finale. We'll have it for you. 5:40 will be our South Slope Communications Triple Play show time, 5:40, and the first pitch, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time here from Dayton, where the Dragons scored a run in the 7th and one in the 8th to break a 4-4 tie and win it 6-4. Thanks for being with us tonight. It was my pleasure bringing you the action, and we look forward to another go-around tomorrow evening here from Southern Ohio, where Dayton beat the Kernels 6-4. John Rogers wishing you a great rest of your Wednesday evening. This has been Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Stay on the line. Here on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids, it's 9:30.